Hello, good evening.
Oh, we are live?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey, hello, good evening, and welcome to TaleChasers on Friday. Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Friday yet. I am your host for today, Amber, and these are my lovely Stargazers. Please say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, very good, very good. Alright, so since I have nothing better to say, I'm just going to pretend that we're slipping into announcements, of which the only one that I have is that we have the city below tomorrow. No, not tomorrow,
What?
this next week. My god, what am I on? We have City Below next week, which is our adventure, our short adventure that I am hosting, of a group of 11th level adventurers delving down into a city of undeath, trying to weed them out. We play on a bi-weekly basis. We just
On a
played this week
bike?
though, and now we're gonna play next week again because of some scheduling issues. But normally we play on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European summertime. All right. Mark also has an announcement which he really desperately wants to tell everyone about. So
Well, if there's one thing I am, it's desperate.
That's
But
true.
no, the Calamica session is going to be on Sunday this weekend, not tomorrow.
Mhm.
But there's going to be a sick game Sunday.
Yeah.
That's it.
Twitch schedule is already updated.
that is correct. If I hadn't been so busy this week with my work, then I would have also updated the Instagram schedule. But you know, haha. We'll get on top of that again. Until that time, there's someone here who would really like to give the recap that they like so badly that they came forward about it themselves. So I guess I'm gonna give it away to them. And I don't think
Awfully
they're actually here.
generous. Passing such fine ash to the.
Gabe.
I don't think he's here.
Seriously?
I think he's
He
in.
did this last week.
It's
Actually, my mother is a hamster.
what? What?
You having a
What?
stroke? That is a nice burger.
Actually, my mother is a hamster.
Gabe, can you give
and
the recap
Tolkien.
instead of talking about this burger?
Hmm?
Can you give the recap instead of talking about this burger?
Sure, can I not compliment a man's burger? What the hell?
No.
Okay. Yes, I can.
Yeah, you're
Anyways,
being a little bit too much with Mark today. It's like it's just too much.
it's Ferris's burger. What do you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're always on to me.
I'm
Get
not his
my
only
back
man.
immediately.
What?
Anyways, last session was Arc 2, session 65, coming to a head 2. As the clouds of a chemical acid came to a rest on the stone pavement of the cellar, we all simultaneously took a breath. If these thralls, if you may call them so, wore us down quite a bit, and fighting something else was an option not many of us were keen to pick. We scouted the room ahead, which seemed to be a cellar repurposed into some sort of jail. 4 rooms with iron bars and a gate, laid against the northern wall, while a set of heavy wooden doors closed off a room to the far east of the hall. Treading over the carcasses of these alchemical creatures, I quickly noticed that the pattern of runes inscribed on their purple chest was not of arcane nature. No, it was in fact a formula, a recipe for the construction of a vessel. Salt for the body, mercury for the soul, and a touch of earth and silver. These 4 elements constituted the nature of these undead created by the hand of man. While I was mulling over these concepts in my head, I heard the obvious clicking of a door handle, and just as I looked up from the ground, a large vampire-like creature came lounging out from the eastern room onto Zarius, who had opened the wooden doors. The dark minion looked much like the fleeters we had fought the night before, only bigger and stronger. It pushed Zarius on the ground and gave both him and Vittorio a difficult time, as its necrotic energies continually sapped away at their vitality. On the left of him, inside of one of those cells, another bat-like creature was revealed by Lawrence's light. Its wingless arms propelled it forward and onto Zarius, now flanked by both creatures. Lawrence and I attempted to take them off, of our dragonborn companion by slinging spells at it. With a thunder wave, Zarius managed to push the proto-fleeter back inside its room and block the door with his magical scythe. With only the other undead left to fight, we dealt with it swiftly and readied ourselves to combat the first. We opened those doors and battled with the creature ensued, which landed more hits on our front line before finally falling to its death. After the fight, we were truly spent. Gathering together, we decided to rest for an hour or so while Vittorio and I harvested the large fleeter. Gathering teeth and blood was as easy as treading through a park, yet right before we could get started with the hare, we heard the loud shifting of stone. But a few minutes into our rest, two large direwolves pounced out of a hidden room and onto the party. Zarius dragged Delphine into a jail cell and attempted to keep the door closed, while the beasts quickly changed their target and began tussling with Vittorio. While we were busy battling the furballs of fury, Father Bacon revealed himself from the hidden passage, releasing a silvery bolt which struck Delphine in the shoulder. After a few spells and slashes, the dogs were dealt with, and the whole party poured into the narrow corridors connected to the hidden door. It took little time to find the charlatan. He was laying in wait in front of a heavy door, ready to confront Lawrence and put an end to this battle. His dark lord attempted to intervene in the fight, yet Corvavolok's light shone brighter than the fiend's shadow, leaving the two to fight man between man. But where the father struck with his sword, Lawrence retaliated with words alone. Yet Bacon seemed impervious to any persuasion, and Vittorio had to ultimately step up and knock him out cold. Once every perceivable threat was finally dealt with, we had enough time to look through the rest of the hallways and investigate the remnants of the father's abode. We spotted some large coffins with what must have been moral chemical undead inside, and another form of study where he kept the recipe for the concoction that turned people into mindless monsters. Ultimately, we had only one more door to open, but Zarius was very wary of it. A guttural fear awoke in him when he attempted to perceive the movements of the wave through the wooden panes. Without much further choice, though, we had to pry the doors open and found where Baichen produced his brews. A small semicircular room hosted a pantry full of chemical ingredients between completed concoctions or dried out mosses and plants. In the middle of it lay a stone sarcophagus with a high relief of a nameless knightly figure. A sensation of nausea overcame Lawrence, Zarius, and I as we approached the grave, and Mara disappeared into thin air when the priest threaded into the room. Panicked, Lawrence fled the chamber only to find Mara reappear in his hands after a handful of seconds. Took me only a few moments to realize this, but the feeling was the same as of a pariah, those born with a blessing or curse to repel the weave itself. Ignoring the feeling, we began searching the same room, and after running through the shelves, sequestering some dubiously dangerous brews, we decided to pry open the coffin, and found the last missing piece of this dark puzzle. There, amidst the stone walls, lay an ancient vampire, a bat-like creature with a rod struck right into its chest. Its unmoving body betrayed a sense of relief, but its bloodshot eyes followed our movements with every step. Taking a closer look at the rod, I remembered information I had read long ago. A null rod was a weapon of bane to mages and arcanists, a tool able to wield the power of a blank and dampen the magics of those surrounding it. This meant that none of our spells would work, nor the intrinsic magic of our items, leaving us powerless in front of an ancient vampire in more or less the similar condition. And this is where we left the session.
That is indeed where we left the session. And that is also where we will pick it right back up. With this creature laying still. In silence, it gazes at you with its witch-light eyes.
Damn.
Well, I believe we've come to a conclusion then. We should probably start to head out.
We should, yes. We shan't remain here further.
Hmm. Well, if we're not gonna try to kill it, then yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, just put the lid back on it. Hopefully that will keep it sleeping for a bit more.
That thing is not sleeping, if you haven't noticed its eyes.
Oh, I did. I certainly did.
Yeah.
There's still hope here and there,
Totally paralyzed.
Its eyes slowly shift over in your direction, Lawrence.
Just takes another look. I wonder why. Well, nonetheless, as long as that thing is in its chest, I hope it's not going to move.
Uh-huh.
Lawrence will partially canter over it and say, I am sorry for all the things in your life that have led you to this moment. But we cannot allow you to roam free.
That is factually correct. Now, let's put him back to sleep and go talk with the Scythe Master, and hopefully she will know what to do. Oh, by the way, are we supposed to drag Father Biken outside?
No, it's either that or someone goes and gets the Scythe Master here and well, I don't know when Bichin is gonna wake up. And
It'll be a lot to explain. We technically infringe the law by committing home intrusion.
Vittorio was like reaching for the sarcophagus lid when you say that, and he pauses for a second and he just pulls out the scroll that she gave us. Without saying anything, he just holds that up.
Looks at the scroll.
We'll do
Ah,
what we
well,
can to not be held accountable.
I suppose that's true.
Mm,
Go as far as we are able to. I'm sure she'll understand what she sees. This person.
and all of the journals.
And all the journal as well. Yep.
All
That should
right.
give us enough for a reason.
Vittorio will try and get this lid back on.
Yeah, it slots back on. The
It
creature disappears from you.
explodes. Oh, so cool. Look at that. There's a lid on the coffin now.
Okay. I'm going to talk to Baichan. Does someone want to go get the Scythe Master?
Yeah.
And Vasily too.
Do we want to get?
Short rest first?
Well, no. God damn it.
I know I gained nothing from short rest. I
Wait.
need to long rest.
We also already have short
Yeah, we
rest,
were
so-
like show rest
oh,
like
wait.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
right.
But
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Vittorio was
sure.
gonna say was, do we want to bring Vasily separate, or should I just bring him with when I pick up the Scythe Master?
Well, technically the Breven Watch is still under the rule of the Crimson Court. I guess it wouldn't be... Well, then again, probably revealing in front of her that Vasily is a former member of the Crimson Court, or I suppose a noble of Novostoya, might be a bit dangerous, We don't know how far Catalina's reach goes.
Mhm.
Also, might I say that we don't know what's down this passage over here either.
That leads to outside.
Oh,
The
really?
passage at the bottom leads to another entrance on the other side of the house. That's what Ember said last time.
Okay.
It literally ends up, the house is symmetrical, there's two secret entrances
Yeah.
on both sides.
Okay. Damn.
Damn, Zara's didn't look hard enough.
Well, literally.
Oh,
I'm kind of. I don't want to leave by channel and I don't want to
No.
leave.
Yeah, we don't.
No,
we
that's
can.
fine.
Delphine is
but
staring at
the-
him.
Vittorio is fine with going and getting like Vasily and
Amber,
the
I would like to
Master.
do an insight check on the child.
Hold on.
Do I
What
sense
did
bloodlust?
what did you say, Ferris?
I said that Vittorio is fine with going and collecting Vasily and the Scythe Master if needed.
Both
I
at the
mean,
same time.
either we bring them both or just go and tell Vasily that we require his
Expertise in matters
Expertise.
of dead.
yeah, and that.
Yeah.
But we're first just gonna go and inform the Bereavement Watch, and then after that we can we can talk with him.
Give this to Vasily, and I'll hand him the letter of Vulpescu.
I have an idea.
Oh, yeah.
We should get Vasily here first, and ask him what he thinks about this creature. And after we get him here, we can ask the Scythe Master to come here and check the vampire. Because I'm sure that the moment she sees her, she's gonna like put a tape around this entire house. No one's allowed to enter anymore.
Okay.
So I think we should probably ask Vasily first.
Yep.
Just in case she doesn't, she goes all
Alright.
cop.
Yeah. Then.
No, I don't think she will. I think.
No, I know,
it'll
but
be-
it's safe to take that precaution.
was this Toka's way of saying "fuck the police"?
No, I don't fuck the
Wow.
police,
Wow.
He's chaotic good, but not that chaotic.
I don't think it's chaotic to fuck police.
Yeah, you're right. You and I.
Vittorio is fine in going and collecting either or. So he can do that, and yeah, we might as well just get Vasily here first, I suppose.
Tokus will what is it called? He'll propose that if Vittorio was feeling a bit too tired after the fights, he can still send once and call Vasily here.
It's fine. I'll go grab him. It's not that far.
Right? That checks out. If anything happens, use your batty bat thing.
Uh-huh. I'll do that. Well, try to not get into more trouble while I'm gone then.
Hands in my pockets. He says he doesn't have pockets.
And he will also just go and collect the scroll from Lawrence and
Squeak.
also puts a hand on his shoulder and he's like, well, hopefully you can work your magic, as it were, when he wakes up.
Soul requires no magic to speak to.
Victoria, he nods. He's like, suppose that's true. All
He
right.
didn't cast Soul Cage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he will also go and give Delphine a hug before leaving.
Bless.
Delphine is not exactly like murderous, but there's definitely an aura of like irritation or malice that like radiates
Yeah.
off her in waves.
I can imagine so.
That's why Lawrence is like, look at
She's
her.
holding a crumpled piece of parchment in her hand as well, while she's sitting there like staring at him.
Oh,
Oh, bless.
what's the piece of parchment?
It's like very crumpled up and like stained looking.
Hmm.
What have you got there,
Oh,
Delphine?
Yeah, as he like tries to give her a hug, and I suppose notices that it's like, what have you got there?
Found it.
Can I see it?
Yeah. She doesn't take her eyes off of Baichan, by the way, as she like hands you the crumpled piece of paper.
I will uncrumple it.
It looks like a child like stick drawing.
Oh,
a
no,
very
it's one of those
small
fucking
person.
cursed drawings. Literally
Of
like
what
the
a-
child engraving the paper with a pen. Isn't it? Isn't it?
of this
This is the
small
will of a
human
child.
figure and this very tall humanoid figure that has these wings and like bat like ears, and there's like some like terribly scribbled like a story written in it as well.
You can speak a story, right? Right?
No, only
No.
Vasily and Delphine can.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
have like
The Delphine can't write.
yeah, I think my because I've tried to learn a little bit of a story. I think I can like say a word or two in a story. That's about it.
Yeah, but it's definitely one of the. It definitely has the creepy child, like imaginary friend drawing vibes, you know. Delphine will be able to tell you that it says "me and my friend."
Me, my friend, and I.
It's just me, my friend, and I.
Yeah, he's like
Till the right until I die.
he looks at that, and then anyone else in the room can also suddenly feel, malice coming off of Vittorio directed towards Baichen momentarily, as he stares in that
Brief each one of those
direction.
JoJo characters in the room and I don't know what to do about it.
And
Don't know what to do
Why
about
are they
these auras.
posing?
Why are they posing at an unconscious man?
and he like, I see. Well, hopefully he'll get what he deserves. But I'm gonna let Lawrence try to talk some sense into him first. Okay.
Delphine says nothing.
Because peers up
Oh.
behind Vittorio. Is everything alright?
Yeah, I suppose for the time being.
Yeah, well, let's hope it stays that way. He reaches in his bag, pulls out a vial with a red liquid, holds it up to Delphine. There you go. I saw you got struck in the middle of the battle. That must have hurt so much. I don't know why Zarya struck you in there. Maybe he thought it was safe. Probably not. He picked the only room that is right in front of the passage. Kind of foolish of him. Anyways, here. Holds out a healed potion to Delphine.
Tune out.
It's okay. Doesn't hurt so much anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it doesn't hurt, but... Lucas squints. Is there, like, still a hole in her shirt?
There's like a hole in her shirt. There's also a hole in her shoulder where a silver bolt burned straight through.
Oh, yikes. Takes a look at it.
You want? Actually, no. I'll leave you to it. I will. I'm on Baichen duty.
Right. Well, it's time for Delphine duty, he says as he would kneel down, but he's already very small. So he takes a look at the shirt,
Goes.
reaches out with his hand. You mind if I fix it?
Do I have to take it off?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Right. And he places his potion in her hands. I'm not sure if that's gonna fix that. I think you might need a little bit more than that. But, well, let's hope he can heal. Can he heal? I guess we'll ask Lawrence later. In the meantime, I can fix at least this. Starts casting mending on her shirt.
Her shirt will fold back together, overlapping, and not even a stitch is left to be seen when it's done. Seamless.
As far as the wound, if I recall, I think Victoria helped her pull the bolt out and like bandage it, which isn't a lot, but hey.
Yeah, it was a clean one anyway.
Yeah.
Is it considered like a grievous wounds or like one of those exhaustion wounds?
She didn't actually go down, I don't think.
Nope.
She just got struck pretty hard. If she had been in like any other form than human form, this would have almost killed her. So then I would have definitely given.
Yeah, because
Mega
That would have been. It would have almost dealt enough damage to kill her outright from like one hit.
imagine silver vulnerability. Damn.
Yeah.
Omega sweat. Oh no.
Omega
Alright.
sweat when he sticks nearly 50 damage.
So yeah, Victoria
Those
will,
damn rogues, man.
Yeah.
Victoria will start heading out as he sees that this is being sorted.
Right. I guess Tokas will sit down with Delphine and he's gonna grab Father Baichin's diary and while trying to decipher sort of like how the potion was produced, he's gonna try and help her. I guess try and teach her how to read a few words
Mm-hmm.
while he works on that book.
That is fair. Oh, before I forget as well, Victoria would have left Tokas with the vial of purple liquid from the barrels as well.
Many thanks. I have like 15 vials now. I think if I drop from a height of 20 feet, I might explode like a Noita game and just fucking blow up.
Fair enough.
Okay, vial of purple liquid. It was the thing you found in the casks on the other side, right?
So there's like I want to say 3, 4, 8, 12. There's a lot of casks there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was wine. I don't think it's wine.
No.
No, it's not wine.
It's
Moss
grape
juice, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's grape juice.
Yeah,
I love grape
100%.
juice. So what?
Not a big deal, right?
Of course not.
Depends on the grape.
All right. Amber, during this time,
Yeah.
I will, Lawrence will pace around and kind of mentally compose himself.
Mhm.
And after the pacing is maybe ineffective, he will sit down and he will simply just pray to himself.
All right.
Seems like Tokus eyes up Lawrence a few times as he paces around, and it seems like he is sometimes almost about to say something, but he goes back to his book. Sometimes quips about, "Here's how you read this word." Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what to tell this man yet?
Tokus looks over the book. I have no idea. Is the purpose of this to interrogate him, to make him see the light again?
I look at Lawrence. Personally, I think he's a lot more trouble than he's worth, but he's willing to accept a second chance. Then let him take it. If not, I think he's too dangerous to be kept. You catch my drift.
No lost soul is always too much trouble. It's always worth to try your best to save someone. And if he really doesn't accept a helping hand, no matter how hard you shove it in his face, then the authorities will have to deal with him. I mean, they will have to deal with him anyways. He impersonated a member of the clergy, so I believe that's unlawful as well.
The crime is execution. Punishment is execution, by the way. Just in case, you know, you were wondering.
This is no Castanella.
I
No,
mean,
that's true. I don't know what it is here. I
was
know
about to
in
say.
Castanella, it's
yeah, I mean, it's fair for lords to
Yeah,
say that, you know,
exactly.
if you're used to it.
Yeah, if you're used to that, you can say that.
Yeah. But,
I-
it might just
But it's
be
up to the high
Zarius would
priest.
agree.
yeah,
Like, be like,
yeah.
execution, yeah, sure, yeah.
Tokus blink. Isn't that a little bit too much?
Tell that to the clergy.
Well, let's hope that's not the case.
What is
else-
your? I mean, what's your answer? Rot away in a cell?
That's usually what happens to criminals, yes.
Well, if it's short enough for you to get out in time, yeah. But if it's long, and if he points at Baichan, who that looks probably pretty old. Like,
Well, his life is not going to be really good, but he still has going to have one.
Well,
I don't think execution is much kinder than jail. I'm not going to lie with you.
I think it's kinder. Well, that depends on where you're going after you die, I guess.
He's not going anywhere nice.
The hands of the shepherd will guide him nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that one, of course. Well, besides his punishment, I suppose, what do we want to do? With him, I guess.
I'll figure it out.
Well, let's hope that that he looks up to the sky.
Need some time to pray.
Right. Let's hope the Star Child blesses us all. I'm gonna keep trying to understand this. He lifts up a bunch of notes. Pulls out his alchemist kit.
All right, you can begin making that check. Vittorio, you're gonna walk all the way to the tavern.
Yeah. It's it wasn't super duper far, right? I mean, it was. It
It's the
was.
other side of town.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't like take me an hour to get there. I imagine.
An hour
Actually-
and back is pretty reasonable.
Actually took pretty long to get
Okay.
these
Well,
things.
yeah, an hour and back. Or well, there and back. That sounds reasonable.
I'm sorry, are you in a rush, Vittorio? Are you in a rush? Are you trying to get somewhere?
No,
time?
Action surge
No.
dash. Do it.
I more meant I was like, yeah, wow, an hour to get there and back. That's like, whew. I don't know,
Discount.
or no, rather, fuck, my brain is not working. An hour to get there is a lot, but yes, if it's
You
there.
been like
there
you've been
and
through
back.
several combats. Like, what do you want to do? Light jog to get there?
No,
like,
I don't want to do a light jog. It's
take
He
it
does
easy,
want
my
to do
friend.
a light joke.
Amber, it's clear that he wants to Naruto run.
Does
Yeah,
he help
yeah, of
if
course.
I cast sending and tell like Vasily to come to
No,
the States so
it's-
they meet me with?
it is
No, don't
fine.
worry about it.
It's like it will be an hour, which is time you guys have to, I guess.
We're gonna wait for Baichen to wake up.
Yeah,
and we'll do it.
exactly.
He literally rolled like the maximum result for how long he's gonna be out.
Let's
so.
go!
Uh,
Yeah!
Fine.
I want to
it's
take a long
perfect.
rest.
Chill.
Yeah, and everything will be fine.
No, you cannot take a long rest in that time.
I want to take a long rest, and time is still ticking, so let's go.
Don't we
Let's
all?
go.
Alright, you get to the tavern.
Yeah.
You'll find Vasily there on the bed. Ilmara is also in the room. She's just like sitting there on the ground. Because her own room is wrecked.
Stop sitting.
That's fair enough. Vittorio, he comes in. Is there even a door still here, or?
A tent, I think.
The door got like ripped off the
Like one of
hinges.
those
Okay.
with the shower
Yeah.
tents that you can like slide.
But-
Uh,
But
they just
there,
like put like a piece of wood in the front of it,
Yeah,
you
but-
know.
there's no one else really up here on this floor except these two.
It's the middle of the night. It's like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
So no, there's no one here right now.
All right. Like, comes in, looks at them, and is like, goes over to the bed, without, I guess, trying to disturb Ilmare, who he assumes is trying
She's
to.
literally looking right at you the moment
Oh.
you step in.
Oh, okay. He's like, oh.
One hand on the gun.
She knows where you
That's very fair.
He's like, oh, I didn't want to disturb you, but hey,
Anyway.
yeah, we well, let's say we ran into some things. People are fine, but and he like takes a couple of steps towards the bed. But I need to get this guy over to the mansion.
Baron Vasily looks eepy.
Mm-hmm.
The Vasily is eepy. He needs to go to bed.
Like,
does.
Hi, Brandon.
He's alive. He's
Hi, Brandon.
alive.
Like before,
He spoke.
Welcome.
I don't
he
know.
actually spoke.
I don't know how much power I have or how long I have.
Oh no.
Take it all,
Oh,
man. Take it all. All my
Brandon
power.
is EP.
someone accidentally put the switch back on at Virgin.
What do you mean accidentally?
They like accident. They're like, oh shit, sorry, and then Brandon's gone again.
I don't know how much time I have, friends, but I'm here.
Welcome back.
I'm not long for this world.
We are currently waiting for Vittorio to go grab Vasily so we can come back to this mansion, take a look at this vampire, and sort of like tell us what to do about it. And after that, we'll ask the captain of the guards.
Mhm.
Maybe being the local cop woman, she can give us a good tip.
Are we all together now? Like, are we...
Everyone
we're
except
all
Vittorio.
into the we're all into the basement of the state besides Vittorio. And Vincent can be whatever he wants. He can either be with Vittorio grabbing Vasily, or he can be in the basement waiting for Vittorio to come back.
I guess I'll be with the bunch. I'll wait with the
Alright.
group.
Right?
Vittorio, he
Yep.
looks at you. What do you need from me?
Well, need your expertise in, let's say, let's call it statecraft.
Will you carry me there, Vittorio?
He just fucking looks at him.
My prince, who look at me there?
I'm
Is-
not long for this world.
7-foot
He's-
tall prince.
He's like,
Vittorio, you know that you will be lightly encumbered when you carry this 90-pound man.
damn.
Just
Lightly
drag him. Just
encumbered.
drag him.
Can't
Vittorio,
move.
just drag him. You can drag more. So just drag him behind you on his arm, like.
Push him. You can push him more.
I don't know if I would be lightly encumbered, but it's fine. Anyway, he looks at him and he's like, Carrie,
I'm so injured, Vittorio.
oh yeah, clearly you're very
Creature
injured.
tried to tear me apart in this very room.
Yeah, only that one. What about
You don't
the
see
rest of the
anything.
15?
Yeah,
You see none of his injuries. Vittorio
Yeah.
just lays there.
yep. He's like, well, how about instead? And he glances at Ilmare. Me and Ilmare can, help our very drunken fool of a friend to get to where he needs to go.
Why are you trying to involve me in this business?
Well, you looked kind of bored, honestly.
This is my normal look.
You're normally bored, damn.
I'm always bored.
Damn, resting bitch.
Sucks to be you.
Literally, she literally has a resting bitch face.
Yeah,
She can't help it, guys. What the hell? She
Yeah.
was born this way.
damn. And Vittori, he shrugs. He's like, well, if you want to stay here, that's fine as well.
Ah, fine.
But Lawrence
I will
needs
go. Wesley rolls out of bed, stands up, begins walking.
Vasily,
no,
Lawrence
I'll-
is flirting with another vampire.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Fastly
Vittor-
spider climbs
no.
out the window,
you.
does
Vi-
3 backflips down the
And he
street.
flies away.
He says,
As
Come on, no.
as Vaslin gets out of bed, Vittoria will hand him the letter or scroll that Lawrence gave him, the one that was from Lady Vulpescu, and he's like, you should probably have a look at this on the way over as well.
Vasly's nose immediately scrunches up. What the fuck do you want me to do with this?
Read it. You know,
Okay.
we can walk and read.
He's already read it in 15 timelines before.
His eyes scan over the paper. Okay. It is not real.
He blinks.
God damn it!
No.
How could the thought have not crossed my mind that a charlatan would forge a letter? God damn.
Unacceptable.
He like,
Unfucking acceptable.
yeah, like he blinks. He's like, huh, it's not real.
He points at the way, like he points at the K of Catalina and the way that the like, what do you call the bottom part of it? I'm sure these things have names.
Earth?
The lake.
The little leg, the leg of the the
Yeah.
outward leg of the K like curls, and he says, "It does not curve this way."
It curls at an axis
For
of
5 decades,
fo-
she is. For 5 decades, I have looked at the signature, and for 5 decades, it's exactly the same.
Huh. Well,
What
It's
a
pretty good
fucking
forgery,
though. Yeah.
mad lad of a woman
Yeah.
being able to make the same signature every time.
he's like, well, I suppose that's both good and bad, then. Well, alright.
But it's good. We don't have anything to do with this bitch.
Well,
He says, like, looking left and right real quick, like over his shoulder.
boy. Yeah, as we continue to walk the shore, he's like, well, yeah, it's good that we don't have to, have anything to do with her, but, we might have had an idea to, maybe contact someone and tell them about it, so it would have become their problem. But, we'll
Why not?
we'll talk about it all once we get over there.
Of course.
I'm saying we can still use it. Like, I mean, Duke Vorgan's not gonna know until like he gets it checked for real.
He's going to know. Don't worry about it.
Like, that guy,
How's he
he
gonna
definitely
know?
doesn't. He doesn't look at fucking signatures and go, yeah, she's had the same one. No, he's like, Catalina, the upstart who's been around for like 500 years. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that one.
Damn.
I'll look into it.
Damn.
Vasily, when he gets to the place, he will just beeline towards where Lawrence is without you even like telling him which way to go.
Well, I guess he can smell Lawrence's
He
blood.
can cast a look at Lawrence.
Nah, he can smell Lawrence's blood, and also realizing that he's missing a couple of pints.
I actually can sense most of your dark power scores from like a mile away.
Oh
so.
yeah, that's fair.
Invisible to him.
Dark power?
I-
Hello? What do you mean?
What do you
What do you
mean?
mean with that? What do you mean with that?
Elaborate.
Nothing, Vincent. You're so good. In
What do you
fact, Vincent, I think you're so good. You should get +1 dark powers. Wait, where did my dark powers go?
What do you mean?
Dark power score is gone.
What? It is? Fuck!
What
It
does she
is.
mean by that?
It was literally there yesterday.
Oh, we all
Oh,
get
it's gone.
No, it's gone.
Yeah, it was 14, right? I had 14, right?
14. Don't lie.
Oh, sorry, I swear she was.
That could have. Lorna was there yesterday /
I remember it being there last time I was in. It
was-
was there when we were playing City Below.
Yeah.
Did you do an update of something like that?
No, I don't believe I did an update today. But I don't see the whole module right now. I'm pretty sure.
Well, we can look into that later. I believe
it's okay.
people remember their score.
Yep. Everyone. I mean, we
You're
have them
perfect.
rotating in the stream right now.
That is also
Correct.
very true.
I'm 0. Perfect boy.
No, you're 11.
You're 11.
No,
and
no.
now you're 12.
Do you
Yeah,
mean?
get to 12.
Yeah, you're getting cooler and cooler. In the eyes of God.
Damn, just keep being good. It's that easy. Lawrence is right.
True.
Oh.
Lawrence is right. Yeah. I need to pull out the truth.
Everyone was good. No one will be bad.
Right?
Revelation.
Anyway. Vittorio and Vasily rock up to the place.
Yes, we do.
Where's Vasily? Where's your... Do we have another token
He
for
blew
you?
up.
One that looks
Sorry.
sadder.
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
It's fucked up.
Lawrence is like in
There
the
we go.
corner, like sitting here, like sitting on the floor praying.
Lawrence. Lawrence, are you sleeping? Are you praying right now, Lawrence? I'm here. Lawrence!
Oh my God.
Eyes open. Is he leaning down to me or something?
Yeah, he's like leaning over you, sort of.
Like,
Kind of funny if you have.
like he's still standing up and leaning down, or he's like
Yeah.
squatting?
He's like standing up, like leaning over you, like Lawrence. Lawrence, can you hear me?
I'm looking dead at him, eyes open.
He looks back at you. Hello. Vittorio said I should really come here for some intrigue, but this is a smelly basement.
This. I extend my hand for him to help me up.
I'll give you a hand.
Excellent.
It's a little bony, but he has enough strength to pull you up.
So, Vasily,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
Yes,
to see
Lord.
that you've recovered a bit better since the last time I saw you.
Yes, but you look not so very good yourself, Lawrence.
What can I say? I'm a little, I'll use my old token. Disheveled. I got cut up a little bit, you could
Who
say.
did this?
It's not... well... Would you like me to show you?
Blink, blink.
Show me.
Very well. Come with me, Vasily. Vittorio, I will need your help.
Vasily looks. His expression is schooled, but also stern.
Now,
Like-
Vasily, what exactly are you going to do to this person if I tell you when I show you them?
What do you mean, Lawrence? I will cut them for you.
Really?
That's not a good idea. Just
I don't think you should do that.
yeah,
Oh.
just throw it out
Why?
there.
Well, I'll show you why in a moment.
It's already done.
Well, yes,
sort of.
in part, kind of.
Just don't puke.
Oh, I don't.
You're the only one puking in these things.
I don't like the way this.
Mm-hmm.
He begins to slow down. The closer he gets to this room, he's like, I don't like this.
No, Vasily, I thought you said you'd cut him for me. Victoria, I'm like gesturing you to throw off the fucking container. Lid.
He's like cringing at this point. He's like physically recoiling.
Yeah, Victoria, like, takes the crowbar and is like, all right. And,
Just a peek.
yeah, he'll start to peel the lid away.
Alright. He becomes visible.
This is the perpetrator.
Vasily falls backwards.
Is something wrong,
Lawrence, what the
Vasily?
fuck?
Is something wrong, Vasily?
He crawls out of the room on his like ass.
Literally tortured in this
I'm
program.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, hands behind my back, because I keep following. It's just like, what's wrong, Vasily?
You're crazy, Lawrence.
You're right.
What the
I'm
fuck is that?
absolutely
What are you
insane.
doing? What are you doing? Bloody night owls.
I
Bloody
was
17
hoping.
owls, Lawrence.
There's not 17. There's only one.
Yeah, and I'm in it right now.
Oh, Vasily, don't worry. I'm here with you.
Yeah, Bri will, But-
Vasily like uses the door frame to pull himself up to his legs again.
No need. I grab him and pull him up with my 16 strength.
What?
What are you doing here?
Well,
What is
this thing was calling out to the preacher that we met the priest that we met when we were here, the Father Baichan, do you remember? And he was making him do a whole bunch of terrible things.
What's that?
He wanted to create. He wanted him.
Point at the stick. No, he pointed at the stick.
Oh,
What's that?
you remember that? Who's the nobleman that when you get close to, you throw up? No, I'm asking Vasily.
oh, okay.
Yeah, some
With
some
the-
kid
with the
in one of the
eccentric-
districts.
One of the.
He makes like a shaking sound. And sometimes I walk past his house and it makes me feel nauseous.
Yeah, it's one of him, but turned into like an item.
Sticks. You can turn people into sticks.
You should do, because his voice from around the corner. It is called a null rod.
Thank you, Tokas.
You can turn people into rods.
No,
was
you
sitting there every day.
cannot.
Whatever's going on, it's a terrible idea.
Exactly. Vasily,
We should
can you
just
tell me
go.
what this is?
We should just go. No, we should just go like right now.
I'm holding
it's
on to
better
him.
go.
Vasily, tell me who this is, what this is. I need to know. We
You
need to
don't
know.
see it, Lawrence.
I can see what looks like some kind of ancient vampire thing.
You can see the consternation, like, in his eyes. It's one of them, Lawrence.
I don't know, but one of them is.
Vasily is like going through some sort of like facility of like a panic attack. He's doing like fake breathing as well.
Oh my god, my poor little my smallest vampire. Okay, I'm like, I will give Vasily an affirmative squeeze. I'll let him know I am here, supporting him.
Cannot go anywhere.
It cannot move. I believe it's pierced through the heart with that stick, so it can't move, and no magic works, so it can't do anything either. And while that stick is inside of it, it can't do anything and it can't hurt us. Oh, but it's very much alive.
He's still gripping the door frame as he turns back to the creature, and then as soon as the creature makes eye contact with him, he like turns away again.
Oh, the Vasily is creepy. Creepy? Oh, he's harmed.
What do you need me to do here, Lords?
Can you tell me what this is, Vasily? Vittorio, seal it up.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that was a
he-
little bit demanding.
I mean,
Please.
yeah, I did put in chat earlier that he was gonna seal it up as soon as Lauren started describing everything.
So it's already sealed, yeah.
All right.
Okay. In that case, we'll go out and we'll close the doors behind us.
Mara's still sitting on the table sober, going, I died! Making
My
sniffling
poor
sounds.
Mara. Okay, I give Vasily. I pull the seat out for Vasily. I'll let him have a seat.
Sits on the seat with the wobbly legs.
I'll lean down to him. I'll be like, Vasily, I don't know anything about vampires really, so you're going to need to tell me what that is. I know there's like greater vampires, glances
not
at
like
Vittorio, and lesser vampire. What do you mean? He doesn't look like you. He looks
course
more
he
like
does not like me.
Vorgan.
That may very well be. Vorgan could be to him what I am to Corvillia.
Oh.
Victoria has a very
I think
concerned
they
look
are
on
the
his
same.
face.
Corvillia or Vorgan and him, they are the same. How?
Shakes his head.
He could be to Vorgan how Corvillia is to Vasily,
Yeah,
which
so
means that he is a Duke Vorgan.
No, Duke Morgan could be the
spawn of him.
yeah spawn
Yeah.
/ facsimile of him.
What I saw. He's like still like got one eye on the door. Like he's not turning away from this door. He's like, what I saw. In her memories. They are not from here like you and me, Lawrence. They are not like us.
What do you mean?
I am merely in like some small fractional way. And he like stares at his hands for a moment. Like them. but more like... I cannot explain. They don't come from here. They come from some place like beyond.
From another world. Looked Vittorio.
I think
Like
they come
Castor.
from the place where magic lives. He's conspiratorially looking around.
There's a rat looking at Lawrence from the corner of the room.
Beep!
Its eyes are not two beads of darkness. They're like two headlights right now.
You know, that's a lot more concerning than I would like it to be.
There's more than one alien on this planet.
Oh my god.
More than one
Alien
type.
vampires.
And I
Hold
think
on.
Hold on, wait.
their
Hold
coming
on.
and going
Wait a
has
minute.
influenced
Hold up.
many things
Wait,
in
are
our
we
world's
finally making the
history.
link?
Hmm.
Vincent's making no link. He is beyond confused.
Don't worry, the link is only out of character anyway.
Personally, I called you here because I wanted to see if this was real. He says on the piece of paper. And I also wanted you to see that. And we're thinking about, well, I'm considering, for the most part, considering contacting Duke Vorgan to tell him the situation here before we leave it in his hands.
What do you
To
think he
simply
will do
deal
with
with it.
He's kind of crazy, Lawrence.
I know he's kind of crazy, Vasily. But I think he will be forced to take situation here of what is effectively a coup d'etat on his the government of Stoya.
Victoria
Pretty seriously.
piped up. Is like, yeah, I didn't tell him the full story as we were walking in case someone was listening, so didn't know that part.
The man, the father, he's a charlatan, yes. That's been masquerading as a priest, but in the town which he was in, he ended up being influenced by this thing that was buried deep underneath it. And, well, started doing its bidding. Been telling him to make undead, but like they're different. He calls them alchemical undead. And they're certainly strong. Well, he wants to take over and influence various cities. And then, well, subtly, right? And then attack Novostoya as a whole, as the capital.
Now you want to give him to the government?
Well, what else are we supposed to do?
Honestly, I do not know.
Vasily, if I draw my sunblade on that creature, the light goes out. I am powerless without my magic. And without my magic items. Simple as that. that thing will definitely not. It's not something I can negotiate with. Either. So my words will mean nothing to it. If we remove the rod, it will kill me. And it will kill us.
Why does it have the rod?
I don't think it has the rod. I think it was imprisoned here a long
Why?
time ago. I don't know by who, and we don't know why. I was hoping maybe Baichan would be able to tell us the information. Maybe they can't. Can Corvillia truly be killed?
His nose scrunches up and his eyes sort of like go distant.
I'm sure there's something she's weak to. There's some situations, some particular items maybe that might be able to harm her, but can she truly be destroyed for good? And
Not all things that are from beyond can be killed because they will simply go back to where they came from.
exactly. So maybe
then-
this was the next best thing. To imprison it and trap it and bury it as deep as you possibly can until somebody digs it up and then it starts whispering into their mind and then, well, here we are.
He stares back at the door. If he truly created the Duke, you don't fear that he can influence the Duke.
And could Corvillia influence you?
Yeah, she could probably rip my head right off, and I would like just be okay with that, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't be okay with it now, but you know, like in the moment,
I see.
I did not feel so very good.
I was worried about that. That's why I've been keeping Cruelly awfully close to me. I don't really know how this whole undead can influence other undead thing works. But I thought it was only the mindless undead that can be influenced by the intelligent undead. Was it deeper and I just don't understand?
This is how it's supposed to work. But she made me feel very strange. Even the thought, even when you ask me, or when you talk to me about something that could potentially kill her or harm her, I feel within my mind that is wrong.
We can't tell Vorgan then?
Well, there's option number 2. We toyed around with. It's not really a great option, but lastly, you remember the lovely female inquisitor in Blackwell, right?
Right, her.
She reeked. I could smell her outside the door from a mile away.
Yeah.
Reeked of what?
Garlic.
I was about to
I don't
say.
even hate garlic. I don't understand.
Well,
It's the myth.
What?
Yells it through the room.
well, Tokas and I had much of the same thought that that could be an option. Maybe Tokas sends a message to her. Doesn't need to let her know who we are or who he is. Just information about this, and well, we'll leave some more information with the woman in charge of the bereavement watch, and then, well, they'll probably take care of it.
We can only do so much. But yeah,
I'd imagine.
I agree.
I'd imagine an order that has specialized in hunting and killing vampires for...
Wait a second. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I think of that before? Why don't, instead of calling her, we can just tell the we can just relay a message to the High Priestess about the situation here. Then, with that information, she can then choose how to deal with it, including sending the ancient blood. Because it's her problem.
But why would...
And if it comes from a High Priestess as opposed to a sending message that just manifests in your head, it's also much less, trace backable to us.
But isn't... And he kind of looks at Lawrence and is like, well, I'm not going to pretend to know how, your church works and whatnot, but doesn't she have to sort of report to... Well, at least this High Priestess, doesn't she have to report to the Crimson Court, or am I...
He doesn't have to do anything.
She's the High Priestess of Soloma. There's no one in the church higher than her except the overarching
Pope.
Pope, we'll call him. Which is also a High Priestess, just the one that has been elected to be, highest at this point in time.
Yeah,
Has highest veto
but-
right.
But this particular High Priestess is located in Novastoya.
Yeah.
Lawrence says the church and government, yes, they have ties and yes, they work together, but it's the same way a guild and a government work together. You can think about it like that. Like the Augustine Trading Company doesn't necessarily have to comply.
I don't like the High Priestess. Firstly, will add, she's kinda creeping me out with the whole silent vibes. But you know how it is, Ostoya, Vengeance, Soloma, there's not a lot any court can do against her.
Nodding.
Well, yeah, I suppose that...
Even vampires have to bend to the faith.
I suppose that is a way
That's what the people want.
a way about it then. Well, we'll see if your talk with Paichan reveals some more information that might change our mind. But, yeah. I suppose this other third option is the best one then.
Perfect. Alright. Let's go to the other room, away from this door, and see if we can get Bachan to talk to us.
Alright. We can go to that point.
Oh, it's been taking so long. Why doesn't he wake up? Does it take everyone so long?
Victoria is a big man.
We could go to the point where he wakes up. We're going to skip over.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know where
I
to drop that in.
can
As
punch you in the
it's just
face if you
like,
want.
Jesus Christ.
I think he's waking up, guys. Look.
He's waking up.
Grabs Scythe.
Lawrence, what is it that you want to discuss with Baichan?
I want him to basically clear up any clear up what actually kind of our understanding of what has happened and what he knows about this thing. I also want to know where these passages actually go. If he
What passages? What?
the passages outside of this that go outside this house.
You mean the
Like-
one tunnel? It just leads out of the house.
Oh, like into the city or out of the city?
We don't know. We haven't been to the tunnel yet.
Which is why I want to ask him.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Sorry.
It just leads around the back of the house. It's not exactly in the city. This is
Okay.
part of the city, but it's on the cliffside. There is no tunnel in the house that goes like to the wall or anything else.
Yeah, I'd just like to get that information out of him, and then I'd like to
Insight.
oh, sorry, that was history.
Yeah, that's fine. A 4 plus.
8. And if we share the same lifestyle,
12.
14.
You get the sense that this is not even any. This has nothing to do with lying. You get the sense overall that Baichan is tired. He looks, in a way, defeated, I suppose. More than just beat it up. He just looks defeated and like just done with it, and that's kind of like the sense that he conveys to you as well in throughout the conversation that you have, which is kind of brief. He's very despite his charlatan origins that might suggest he's Morensian, he's very Estoyan. So his like replies are very short, very brusque some at times. But the general vibe is like, it's your problem now. I don't want to. I just want to leave. I don't want to be here.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
He does not know what exactly the creature is in the tomb outside of, you know, the general, just that you might have guessed already. That it's very powerful dark entity from definitely not from around here.
Yeah.
And that he's always felt like he shouldn't release it, but also
So kind of want to do it. Kind of want to play around with joke, cycling around.
I mean, yeah, but he doesn't know how much of that is like his desire or the creature's desire to be released.
Very fair. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess I'd also like try to get the information of like the plans that we found, like the map, for example, which showed like him that showed the various spots. I want to figure out like what his current operation is per se.
He seems a lot less willing to divulge that information.
Okay.
There will be some mention of like this operation being largely in shambles now. And that something, like, evidently some troops remain. Some of his creations definitely remain out there. But some of the better ones have been destroyed here.
Ask him if there's a chance for his master to do the same thing again that he did to him, aka just visit someone in the dreams and be like, "What do you think about finding a new employment? I'm PUBG."
I have no idea about that. I mean, that's just a possibility. No, I mean, if it happened to him, why wouldn't it happen to someone else?
I have such a good idea. Let's grab all the lead in the town, melt it, and then pour it onto the coffin.
Okay. Now divination magic can't sense him.
And now this guy can't speak to other people, right? Right.
That's
Well,
not
sending is an
that's not
evocation spell.
Yeah.
What do you mean with that?
That's just not how. That's not how telepathy or anything works.
What do you mean with that?
Give Mr. Tinfoil Hat.
Yeah.
I need to get some cold iron as well.
Lawrence, in a way, Father by chance seems relieved.
I bet he does.
Yeah. Lawrence will play into that. He will be like, there's a lot of like, and Lawrence is talking of like, now that you're free, now that it's over, now that it's, not, as you say, not your problem anymore. And then, he prefaces a lot of his questions with this kind of wording. As he talks to him. Oh yeah, I'll ask him if the bandits. I'll ask him about the fairy bandits, and if that was his doing.
He has nothing to do with the bandits.
Yeah.
Although he admits they were pretty convenient,
Yeah. He also asks if he had anything to do with the death of the sister that could cast sending, or the people in this house that whose last name he coincidentally shares. People who lived here.
The sister used to live in this house.
Ah.
As for the name, he doesn't he's kind of avoidant about the subject, but you can infer that maybe the identity is not a may also be a fake here.
Yeah. Okay. A party? Anything else?
Any loose threads?
Zarth looks at him as like, I have something to say, maybe to help what you tried to tell him before the fight. If you still want to try that path.
What?
I look at Lawrence.
Oh, you're trying to Mark wants to roleplay with Bai-Chen. What Lawrence was saying to him before when we were fighting in this corner.
Yeah.
No. I kind of want to move things along and deal with Bai-Chen here, because I don't think there's anything we can do at this point. And he's already being super reserved.
Maybe ask him if he knows of an antidote. If there's a way to cure the people he turned into monsters already.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, sure.
There is an antidote, and you guys know that there is one.
Yeah, fair.
To cover his own tracks, he also created an antidote for his own creations. Albeit he purposefully made the doses so that it would take super long, so that he could continue to quote unquote tinker on the antidote. But yeah, there's an antidote.
Is it in the notes that he has? Or I guess the notes that we found?
Yeah, you'll be able to get it from the notes.
Okay.
Well then.
May or may not be such a subtle implication that the vials that you found that were almost ready were made for you guys, but
no,
it's
okay.
I just needed a drop of your blood. No biggie.
Yeah, I would have gotten it from his boys if they managed to escape. Haha.
Dude could have literally just walked into the tavern and
Needle
Yip
prick
died
away.
us. Yeah.
at least half of us would become fleeters in a moment.
Yeah, just root.
Half of us already fleeters without him giving us the potion.
I'm already fleeter.
Well, should we get along then? Should we get the leader of the night?
Yeah, we
The
should.
the
I think we could just literally call the bereavement watch. Blow the whistle.
No.
I remember we
call-
wanted to do this
We
leader.
wanted to call the Scythe Master because we don't want any downtrodden poor guard who is having a tough time see this vampire and be like, yes, my life could be so much better.
Yeah, let's switch around.
Master.
Literally. How does
Master
he bite
Quinn.
you happen?
Presses the button.
Yeehaw.
Honestly, just decapitate this thing and let's get going. Easy peasy.
I wish you could.
That's
We
what
can't.
That's what Victoria wanted to do.
You can
So
definitely
sad.
do that. Yeah, you can definitely decapitate the vampire in the coffin. There will be no consequences to
No,
those
not
actions
at
at all.
all.
Oh, there's none. Oh, I'll do it. No.
Victoria
no.
decapitates the vampire. Victoria becomes the vampire. Hold up.
The vampire
Victoria
disappears.
decapitates the vampire.
But-
Yeah, literally, the vampire fucking disappears, and it's like,
So
wait
it's
a
something
second.
we can
Here's a
do, there's
day
nothing
later
we
in
can't
the
do, we just have to leave
After 12 days and 12 nights, the vampire manifests in our cavern.
Inside
Caravan.
of Zarius.
Hello.
Nice.
What?
Alright.
Inside of me.
Well,
Inside of him.
let's go and collect the Scythe Master. Let's show her this. Tell her about the
Hello,
About
this is Batman in the coffin.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
No tell story, please.
and tell her about, or show her as well, the journals, and be like, yeah. So anyway, Father Bison did this, and this.
Please don't kill him, but also put him in jail.
And that I guess we tell her that we plan to tell the High Priestess of Solima about this, and she will hopefully send someone to deal with this ancient vampire.
Still don't know why we aren't calling the Inquisitor instead.
Are you guys still
I-
going to call Gordo?
Yeah.
That's the. If we are calling the priestess, I'm gonna call Gordo because I don't think I've ever met the priestess, have I?
Not only have
Yeah.
you never met her,
Yeah.
she's also taken a vow of silence,
Yeah.
so she cannot actually respond
Yeah.
to your sending
There you go.
message.
She can write.
Which is
She cannot write to the sending message.
Yeah.
well,
Still don't
we're gonna
understand
send
why
it to
we're not
Gordo.
asking the Inquisitor though.
because the priestess will send like a whole team of people here to deal with the situation, and it's better than asking just like, hello, one Inquisitor that I saw once. I am telling you telepathically that there is a giga vampire here, and it's down to this one person who believes garlic actually wards off vampires.
It
works.
It worked on Vasily. You said Solima, right?
It was just
Yeah.
Because now I gotta open for a second.
literally, it only warded Vasily off because it's fucking gross.
Vasily has
Oh,
a
that's
taste for
enough.
finer things of
I
life.
would like to point out that she's at least legit, because she literally had two dried up vampire heads
Yeah, I was about to
in
say.
her wardrobe.
Meat spawns or whatever it did. Still
And
pretty good.
she had several messages, letters between herself and Thomas and the guy who
Yeah,
we
He's
escaped
He's
from.
just a little eccentric, okay?
Honestly, I don't really trust the clergy that much, because many times they have the second goals, and this woman, believe I'm correct, the High Priestess of Solima is in Nova Stoia as well, isn't she?
Yeah. That's what I
So
said.
she's also Stoian, which might. I'm 100% sure the Crimson Court has hands in the local Solima clergy and pretty much all the other clergies. They must, if she's really that important. I feel like
Yeah.
if we call the Inquisitor, we don't have to tell her come here and solve this. We tell her Order of the Ancient Blood, come here and solve this. And all of them are equipped to solve with this kind of thing. And if she alone can't do it, she for sure knows who can do it. Because that's the entire purpose of this order, to literally kill vampires and werewolves.
I think I'd still rather do the High Priestess, just because also she's kind of the one that gave me this quest, and I need to report into her anyway. And if I do so, and then she sends some people here to like check it out, and it's like, hey yo, there are no vampires in Vaagwol, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we can discuss
There's
it
no
later.
war embossing
before-
say, right?
We can discuss it later before we leave Vaagwol. We'll have some time to think about it because I need to spend a few days here, at least one. Anyways, I
A
think
few
for
days, one.
a few days, maybe one if I'm lucky. If not more. But for now, we leave the guy in there and we go back and take a fucking long rest because all of us are tired. And it's like almost 6 a.m. It's already
Alright.
6 a.m. Never mind.
To
Lights
6 a.m.
forward.
indeed.
Victoria is gonna grab the Scythe Master before he gets any sleep.
No, I mean, yeah. Of course, we're gonna go to the Scythe Master, but
Yep.
after that, we're just to bed.
Alright. You guys can grab and inform the Scythe Master. More hours will pass.
Of course.
All of you can save
Alright.
against exhaustion now, because that's definitely going to happen.
Whoop, whoop.
After staying up all night.
I'll just sleep all day.
up all night.
Up all night.
I could just sleep all day, right, to avoid exhaustion. Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
Oh,
Choka said he wants to spend the day here anyway.
why the fuck is this not rolling?
I'll just spend the day sleeping.
It is rolling, Vittorio. You rolled a 28.
Roll nat
Well,
20.
yeah,
It's just your
absolutely
browser being garbage again.
Mhm.
Massive.
Alright. In that case, all of you except Zarius succeed.
Look at this man feeling.
Sleepy. He's so eepy after fighting all night, getting hit in his tail.
Sleepiest lizard.
Eepy.
Eepiest lizard.
I'm tired.
I'm
I'm
tired.
sleepy.
Regardless, you guys can fetch the Scythe Master of the Bereavement Watch, explain the situation, basically hand over most of the
Responsibility.
basically hand over most of the responsibility
Love that.
for what has happened here. You can either inform her that the High Priestess will deal with will make the final decision in this case, and haha, trust the people of Ostoya value the word of the High Priestess, and so that word will be
Yeah.
will be law here.
Yeah, Lawrence will definitely drive the point of like, yeah, I was sent by the fucking High Priestess Stalema herself.
She will ensure that the house will be kept in lockdown, and Baichan will be removed from it. He's going to be taken to the other side of town at the Bereavement Watch.
Whoop, whoop.
Very nice. Yeah, I will also recommend that she take some of her most trusted men and basically seals off all entrances into the secret. Actually,
She will assure you that
Yeah.
you don't have to tell her how to do her job. Like
Okay,
that's kind of the
great.
implication.
Okay, perfect, great.
Uh,
It's just I don't wanna. I'm gonna
What will
cross
be
my
done?
T's, dot my I's.
she's been doing this for 25 years, so
I'm
Woman's gotta be old, damn.
older than that.
Yes, you're older than 25 years. Very good, Lawrence. You're older than she has
Hell
been in the watch. Very good to mathematicians.
I am not.
Quick math.
I am not. Regardless, after that, if
So
you
we
would like,
actually-
you can message Gordo, and then we can long rest if you would like.
I'll ponder.
That's
That's
onto
long
that.
rest in the tavern.
Yeah,
Beep, beep.
I'll ponder onto that decision for a day because I think it's pretty important. So I'll
I'm gonna
probably do
sleep.
it the next day.
All right.
If you
Just gonna
want, you
take this
can.
note.
If you want, you can use your last remaining spell slot to like, I don't know, send Jace like a cute goodnight message or something, and then sleep, and then wake up and be like, it's time to expend all the
More
slots.
spells, literally.
Yeah.
I urge.
Summon greater spell slot. Expend greater spell slot. Summon greater spell.
There's no rooms left in the tavern. You all have to share the room that Vasily and Lawrence had.
Is there enough
Has-
beds?
No, you can drag some mattresses there though.
I'll sleep on the floor.
I imagine Zarius is like trained to fall asleep, whereas he just kind of like half
Right.
leans on a chair and he just like.
Pretty
Fucking
much.
demon breathes you. Okay, well, longest time. I guess we'll spend the day settling everything else and take a long rest then. After a fucking 2 excruciating days of fighting and things.
Do you all sleep at the same time?
I think so. Unless
Yeah.
People want to do something at night.
Victoria will just
There's no night sleeping during the day.
Well-
Victoria will just at least keep watch because yes, there's like no fucking.
Are you gonna keep watch for 8 hours?
No, I'm not gonna keep watch for 8 hours, Amber.
We
Okay, I'm
can
just
do
asking.
normal watches.
Hey,
I
hey,
will-
hey, Victoria, you can ask me if I'd take a watch, and my answer would be no.
I'm going to
Um,
call.
Hey, everyone,
Time
stop
to-
fighting. Stop fighting, alright?
To wake up
Tell you what.
Zarius every 2 minutes with an alarm clock.
Here you go.
Elmare, I will just ask Elmare or Vasily if they could keep an eye on us while we're resting. Either.
What about
either.
like? I will consider it.
Thank you, Vasily.
Please.
That's
I
not
will give him.
Vasily.
Oh, okay.
Vasily does not have that much sass in him anymore.
Thank you, Elmare.
Outsassed.
Your kindness is always appreciated.
Really, so gracious.
Collapses into bood.
Or not.
I have
Eep.
2 Zariuses.
I have one eep.
Vittorio, when are you keeping watch? Can you please use this little beautiful paper that I made for watch order?
Yeah,
Thank
can
you.
you please drag out another token for me then?
Why? There's literally one here.
Okay.
Why do I need to drag out another one?
Okay.
Is one enough?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Sheesh.
Yeesh.
All right. Elmara is awake, but that doesn't matter. In that case. There's only one person I need right now, and it's Vincent.
Oh,
You're being singled out. You're being singled out. You're being
Singling
singled
you out
out.
as we
You're
speak.
being
it's like
singled
50.
out.
Shut up, all of you.
What?
Shut your mouths.
help!
No,
Vincent.
I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah, you wanted to sleep. You wanted to rest, but there's more important things
Oh,
in this
brother.
moment.
Be merciful.
Rest in peace, you will be missed.
What?
What?
Well, if this is how it is to be, then so be it.
R.I.P. Vincent.
Yes, homie.
What? Excuse me. Vincent, what is your trans look like?
I think Vincent's transcape is. I believe I've mentioned it before. I can imagine it being quite an empty space, quite an open space, probably like an infinite shoreline of a beach with some very calm waves and the constant time of sunset. And I think you came up with a very good idea that I would definitely did yoink, which is, how elves normally have like things stored as memories, like maybe in books or something in a large bookshelf. Or, well, I would like to imagine that a lot of Vincent's thoughts are just in seashells or like similar type stuff like that. So that's how I imagine it. An empty skate.
Dancing takes. It's not like sleeping, as an elf once described it in my world. Where is he? My sweet, sweet old elf. Had I been human, I might have salvaged a few hours of fitful sleep from the harrowing nights, but as it was, I found it impossible to stay in trance for 4 straight hours. It requires a little bit of concentration to settle into that space. But eventually, the sound of gentle waves pulling at a pebbly shore, each roiling the stones beneath the water, with a sound And it's a little bit like a distant crowd cheering. Reaches your ears.
The sound of a crowd?
No. It's more like each lapping of the waves across these stones vaguely sounds like a crowd. But looking around, there's only headlands that curve out on either side of you, forming this humongous, endless bay. The sea is calm, but that might be deceptive, because today the sky is overcast. It's likely not a very common occurrence for you.
No, definitely an oddity. Because normally I have, or would I say that I normally have decent control over my own space?
Yeah, you have complete control over the space.
So, okay, so yeah, this is very weird that something has changed. Okay.
Perhaps underlying emotions, something that troubles the mind.
Hmm.
Maybe that is so, Vincent, because something unsettling creeps over you in this moment.
Oh no.
You feel like you are being watched.
Do I kind of look around? I guess I'm going to feel a bit invaded. And this is very weird that in my own space I feel observed.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have maybe a... Is it familiar? Does this kind of sense of being observed or this kind of presence feel familiar?
Definitely not.
Okay.
You look along the shoreline and turn around, and there's a person there.
Okay.
An entity that looms over you almost like a dark cloud. An elf, draped in dark silks. Unmarred, pale flesh, eyes so unnaturally dark that they are almost completely devoid of irises. And she simply stares down at you, as if patiently waiting for the moment that you would notice. You would take note of the fact that she is there.
I imagine Vincent would probably very quickly, reflexively hurl back and kind of... But wait a second, I haven't thought about you in my head. What are you doing here?
Her expression is unchanging, but there is a soft brush of something against your mind. And you hear a voice in your head, but her mouth does not move. You must forgive my intrusion.
Who are you?
I'm back. Hello.
That you do not know should probably pain me.
Give it a think. Do I recognize this figure?
You make me a history check?
Because out of character, I have an idea, but it's a whole different ball game. History. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Vincent, distant memories of your younger self sometimes have this dark form like gliding in the background. Never close. Never this upfront. And they would never speak or interact with you, but there's always this looming presence in the dark, cold holes where you spent some years of your youth.
So this visage is familiar to me, at least in my youth, but never actually been spoken to.
No.
Almost like in the background.
She doesn't really interact with anyone. Yeah, she doesn't interact with a whole lot of people.
Vincent will scratch at his head. Something does feel familiar about you. I mean, I don't want to upset you for not remembering people, but I'm not exactly the brightest.
Her face, her expression does not change, but she makes a almost like a soft humming sound. Your father returned to me with something that I needed. When I asked him what he should want in return for all the years that he had given to give me this thing back, he asked for only one thing.
Vincent will look with intrigue.
He would ask me to pass along a message to his Vampyr.
Making it sound like he's gone. Don't scare me now.
She kind of like stares at me, not very hard, by the way. Like at the beginning, when you first saw her, she was nearly 10 feet tall. She's shrunken down a little bit because, like looking down this far is a little bit awkward. She like kind of looks out over the endless stretch of ocean. When I offer the chance to have whatever their heart desires, and this is what they ask of me. That is when I know. She does not like say what she means with that is when I know.
Well, when you know what? Maybe I should hear the message first.
This she like brings one of her like hands up to ruffle her cloak, and it sort of like almost like flutters by itself and begins to, you can see an expanse of starlight is almost reflected in the darker skies above you. And from it, she pulls a bundle of 2 little scrolls. She hands them to you.
I'm pretty sure my dad knows that I'm not a big fan of reading. I'll take them whilst chuckling.
If you open the first scroll, there is a soft, like, tinkling sound. And you hear another voice emanate from the scroll this time. Ah, felt that year, my sweet child. It has been far too long since I've heard of you. The forge has been far too quiet without your laughter. But it is so good to hear of your deeds. I mean, it is so good to hear that you are well, that you have met these people that you can keep close. Keep them close, sweet wildflower. They do not come often. But most of all, I'm proud. I mean, I'm overjoyed that my sweet blade returned to me 50 long years, you know. I couldn't believe it. I wondered and I feared, but I never doubted you and your abilities and your heart. And then your father was there, scarred like reforged swords, like a fresh kindling to light up our home. And he smiles again and he dances and he tells me how much he loves you. I believe that you've always had a spark of him inside of you, seeking and burning bright, loving. Oh, our little wildflower, how you've grown and how you've blossomed. You should know that we will always have a place for you. You know, when you've saved the world, or you just need a place to rest, you know, whenever you feel lonely, just remember that we love you, and you don't have to worry about hurrying home, but, like, if you ever come nearby, we would love to see you. It is signed by Quilde Fangwei. Fai Fangwei. And then there is another scroll.
Oh, Vincent would have tears down his face. Oh, mother.
Correct.
Yeah. Vincent would definitely be demonstrating great feelings of pride and joy in his face through tears, probably. And a slight bit of homesickness, probably.
Blessed be the day of returning home. The other scroll is a little shorter, written in a different handwriting as well. Let's see, I have them in your inbox as well. Give me a second.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, there we go, Observer. You should be Observer to both of these now.
My dear wildflower, I am home and I am well. Thanks to you and the Stargazers, I have not only been able to fulfill what I set out to do so long ago, I have also returned home to the love. Oh, my sweet Quill. She is still the tempered blade of silver that she always has been. I hope to recuperate here where I belong, by my other half. Maybe I can still rekindle the life in these old bones of mine and shine as I once did. Maybe not. Maybe it's time for others to blossom and shine in my stead. And I have no doubt that you will. Take care of yourself. Love you forever and always.
Oh, Vincent will drop to his knees and pull the two scrolls close to his chest.
This one is signed, Your Old Man.
Honestly, these are probably the best gifts you could have probably given me. I'll look up to this woman.
The princess who was never a queen. Like breaks her eye contact with the horizon and looks down upon you.
There are a few gifts that are better than anything physical. I don't need materialistic gifts. And I think they've always known that. This is what truly fills the heart. Maybe I'm asking too much for you to tell them. I know you're not a messenger. But please let them know that I'm doing well. And I love them. And I wouldn't be who I am today without them.
You might not have grown in my halls for too long. But you are a child of the city.
I appreciate it. It's always nice to know that I have a home to go back to. I know I haven't really been around my people for long, and don't really know much about my own culture. But I'm growing. I'm discovering more of what it means to be a person on this world. Why I'm fighting for it, and what it's worth, and what its value is. And there's so much out there across all of the distant horizons. I can't help myself. And I look down at the scrolls, and I look back. Much like my dad said, and my mum. Maybe I have a bit too much of them in me. You can't keep me down in one place for too long. But thank you. And I'll try to educate myself more on our way so that you don't feel so offended that I can't recognize who you are by sight.
You knew in your heart. The eyes often deceive us. They do not know all the truth, even when it lies deep inside.
Suppose you're right. I'll do a bow and I'll pull my head down. Thank you for this.
He reaches out like beside her with a with like one of her long spindly fingers and sort of like hooks something towards her. And in that moment something like almost like falls through the seams of your trance as she wraps her fingers around your halberd, which she has pulled from where it was beside you in the physical world towards her. I may not agree with all that you seek out to do. But such is the nature of family.
Well, I'm still quite young. I've got a lot of room to grow, so let's hope that I don't disappoint you too much.
I have seen many children grow up. I'm quite used to. It's almost like she searches for the word for a moment. Your antics. She places her other hand, like, over the hilt of your halberd, and this crackling, icy blue veining runs through its material, through its metal.
Vincel will observe in awe. She probably has been for a while since this absolute inexplicable being is in front of him.
Go with the graces of your family and return when you are ready.
I'll stand back up from kneeling. Sure. Don't wait up. We've got quite a lot to do, so I don't think I'll be coming home for a while. You know, saving the world and all that.
She does not say anything. But you slowly start to become aware of a little bit of like commotion surrounding you outside of your trance, and the edges of it begin to fray, like the sand blows away in the wind. And her visage frays with it into curls of mist and feathery wisps.
I'll lean out my hand and probably grab at air. I try to, like, I guess, touch on the distant parts that kind of become dust in front of me. Just look at my palm.
The feathers, the wisps fall apart in your hand. If anything, they feel a little bit sad and lonely.
Mm.
And then they are gone.
It's quite a lot of loneliness to feel for someone that cares for so many people.
That's what Vincent thinks, as your trance breaks and you are left in a room full of people with a halberd in your hands.
Oh. Wonder why I've got my halberd in my hands, probably. Wait.
Its entire surface looks like it has these tiny little scratches in it. But observing them closer, you can see that in a mixture almost of like blue and gold, there are hundreds upon hundreds of names.
God.
All dark elven in nature. As I know that you have to go and make food, so we can talk later about this
Wait.
ancestral weapon.
Huh? Oh, hey, wait. What is it?
Hey.
Hey, yo.
Ayo. Ayo.
Mayo.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What is this thing? What did she do? I was like, oh, I'm happy with these scrolls. I'm now fulfilled. I have enough energy in me to protect the world now.
But then she leaves you fucking hot and heavy, to make your fucking sandwiches or whatever you're making.
Correct.
Tough titties.
For starters, it will gain the following 2 traits.
I
It
find
tells you the
incredibly
traits.
But
cool.
after that,
I find it incredibly
we
cool.
are
that
gonna
it
pick
does
some new traits together.
Wait, hold up.
But they are much cooler traits than this. This is just flavor traits.
I mean, I already just the idea that this thing has just hundreds of elven names on it, just engraved on it. That's so cool.
If this weapon reminds me 100% immediately of the I think one of the most flavorful weapons in D&D, and that's I think it's like the Moonblade or the Moon Sword or something like that. It's the Elf Sword in the DMG. It's like an artifact, and basically every time you hand this sword down, like to your son, pretty much, it gains it, or your daughter or your offspring, it gains a new property.
Wait, did I just gain all for one from
All for one?
One for all. Let's go.
It's not exactly
for
how
one.
ancestral weapons work, but yes, sort of. Actually,
Okay,
for some
metal
people it works
itself.
that way. But it's
I
okay.
can't wait for your quirk to manifest, Vincent.
Stop
Honestly.
it.
What do you mean? He's already quirky.
Yeah, he's a quirked He's a quirked up dark elf.
I mean, out of character, I know who that was, but in character, but imagine not being able to recognize who that is, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Need to slap this man across the face, man. What are you doing? How can you not recognize him? Rough times. I mean, that's just very metal. I look forward to seeing what this is. I'm very excited.
Same, not gonna lie.
Don't worry, we have some other things we need to get through as well.
More halberds? Oh, so cool.
No, not more halberds.
Oh, more ancestral weapons. Yeah,
It's
sorry.
just it's the same halberd.
Same thing. Vittoria goes to sleep. The fucking Lich Queen appears to him. My child, I bring you a message.
I was happy with my messages, but then she had to dap me up as well with the ancestral halberd. She's say less, homie.
Well, goddamn.
And all of
know.
a sudden, I felt a real string, and when she's upset, I'm like, "Oh shit, man!
That's okay. You know,
I
it's
need
like
to sort something. I need to help this person out."
if you can't stop your children from living at home, at least you gotta make sure that they're safe and sound. You know.
So I'm about to bug the ever-living hell out of all of you to understand who this person is and more about them and why they're upset.
Okay,
and
I
their
have a
history, so-
long document about.
But I meant in character more than anything. I understand it out of
long paper about it.
yeah. I understand
Here's
it out
my
of
research
character,
paper.
but I've read her a lot out of character, but I need to. In character, Vincent hasn't got a clue, so
So
he's gonna be like,
years
he's gonna be like, so funny thing, guys. I mean, so I got visited, by the way.
Everyone else, blink. What do you mean by
Sure.
that?
Everyone else, you two.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you.
Excited to see what. But please stop by my own accord.
Same, not gonna lie.
Hehe. I think Varys is be right back for a moment, so we wait for him.
Bless.
All right. Well, I managed to go over the time that I needed, but very, very worth it. Very worth it. I'm gonna
Bless you.
shoot off to be able to make food and do some other stuff.
Yes.
No. Thank you for being here and playing with us.
See you later.
Correct.
I will obviously check in with everyone as soon as I'm done with cooking, and I'll watch the stream. So.
Let's go.
Oh,
We'll see you
look at
later.
this now.
Enjoy your food.
Yeah, enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Do-do-do-do.
In the meantime,
Lupus,
Vittorio's
for
seeing another magical sword appear in
You
Vince's hands.
like to see that any time of the week.
Vittorio?
No. What the hell? What do you mean?
It's not a
Appears
sword.
it actually appears in Vittorio's head because he needs another one.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Naturally, for I am
The sword man.
the Day Man.
The day.
Ah.
Welcome back, Ferris.
Hey.
Welcome back.
What does Vittorio do during his watch?
Uh,
Oh, I need to quickly turn off this track because this is not the right. There we go.
what he does during his watch? Well, he is probably doing a little bit of maintenance on Clemency, cleaning, cleaning, oiling, rubbing. Since we did deal with a couple of things, and he's trying to keep a little watchful eye over the people sleeping, and looking especially over in Delphine's direction every now and again.
Delphine is like curled up, like in the space next to the bed. You know, like where she's like rolled out her like bedroll to like be like half underneath the bed.
Oh.
She's there with Otis, who's getting very old. Poor Otis.
Then we're gonna have to have Terabella reincarnate him.
As a
Dead
human.
ass.
Oh, funny meeting you, Hugh.
Turn him into mongrel folk,
This is how you get fucking druids.
To make him Urkin right now.
Yeah.
Plays dead.
Trebella spiking the reincarnation potion.
She doesn't quite have a fitful sleep, but every now and again, like her leg twitches, like like when a dog is dreaming that he's running or something.
Bless.
Oh.
She's running in her dreams.
Yeah, I hope it's a happy run.
Of course.
Running for her life.
Mm.
No, she seems to be fine. What's less fine, Vittorio, is this feeling that overtakes you.
Ha.
A familiar feeling, honestly. A vibrating, a rattling inside your chest. It
Yeah.
comes on abruptly. Around the noon hour.
Yeah, if it comes on abruptly, I imagine he probably loses the grip on Clemency. As the hand holding the rag goes up towards his chest.
In that moment of shock, you feel something else, something new. First a sort of like fluttering sensation, and then almost a tightening in your chest. As though a fist were enclosing around your ribcage and your heart. And it becomes a little bit harder to draw breath. As though your ribs don't actually want to move apart at all anymore. To allow for the motion of expanding your lungs.
What the fuck?
Umara perks up and she's like, are you having like a stroke? Should I call like the village medic?
Don't know. hard to breathe.
Like, okay, so I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to
Pulls out a gun.
Here's my
Shoots him a
medic
couple
gun.
of times.
Pulls out the medic gun.
Medic.
You regain 25 hit points. uh. Okay, maybe start by like taking off the stuff that
Kicking off. Then, yeah. Vittorio, who's yeah, I imagine if he's like sitting on a chair with a like a wooden armrest, I would like to imagine that I think part of that armrest is now broken as he's been like.
Alright, there's a loud
Put-
snapping sound.
Yeah. He's just clenching on it with one fist. And he like well, then you're gonna have to help me.
Amara walks over and she pulls like a stiletto knife from her boot.
Time to cut you up.
So like, I hope you don't feel too like attached to this clothing. No problem.
Luckily, I think it's just the common clothing.
She will cut it open.
Hmm.
So like, don't worry. If there is something wrong with your lung, I learned a little technique that will allow you to breathe, but I'm going to have to stab you. You understand? She says it as she's still like stripping the clothing off of you.
Oh, that sounds fucking fantastic.
Vittorio, as you strip of your shirt, initially nothing appears to be outwardly wrong.
Uh-huh.
But you're still struggling to breathe. You still look the same, kinda, yeah. I mean, like, it looks the way it always does. And, like, Elmara's like, oh. Merde. I forgot about that for a moment, so, like, you're still struggling to breathe. No problem, no problem. Just lift your arm up. She pulls your arm up.
Yeah, he'll try to lift the arm up.
She will lift it up, don't worry. And she's like, okay, we're just gonna go between the ribs here. And she prods with 2 fingers to try and find space between your ribs, but she won't find any. It is just hard material all the way through between each and every single one of your ribs. She's like,
Witcher moment.
Time to make some space.
I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't know what to do either. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna concentrate very hard on trying to take a deep breath.
Alright. Make me. A con save.
16.
Corio, you focus on trying to draw breath back into your lungs, letting this be the singular thought on your mind. And you manage to bring back at least the panic of not being able to breathe long, like, managed to bring that back enough to allow some part of your body to relax. And that's also when you feel the tightness begin to lift as the pressure around your sternum, the pressure in your sides between your ribs lets up. And things also don't really feel like you're wearing a, like a breastplate underneath your ribs anymore. And you draw a breath.
Yeah, he like, I think yeah, I think I can breathe a bit better now.
She's still standing there holding the stiletto. You sure you don't want me to stab you in the lung?
I think we can save that for another time.
Okay, good, because I technically need a little tube for it, and I don't have my kit on hand.
Oh, yeah, that's.
I could try and find it though, like it was just saying, like if it's not, so I can just get it out there. But okay, you are breathing. This is fine. Is this like a normal thing, or like?
He shakes his head like, no, haven't experienced anything like that before. Just there's a tight feeling in my chest, or just shortness of breath. Only really happens in this fucking country so far.
I would normally associate these feelings that you're having with old humans. It is when they have a heart attack and they die, like you're not dead yet, so I suppose it is something, but
Yeah, not dead yet. Hopefully I'll stay that way for a long time.
hopefully.
I don't suppose you spend a lot of time with other slayers, or, well, witchers, claymores.
Met a couple.
Hmm.
There's a place in the Northern Bureau I visited once.
Oh, you mean, shit, no, I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Yeah, the Kanyanimicha, Freehold, whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's a couple of them up there.
Thought you said you'd never been before.
I say a lot of things, Vittorio.
I've noticed.
Some things are not true, some things are, I like to keep it spicy.
Well, I don't suppose you've seen or heard anything similar happening.
I don't spend time, I want you to understand that I don't spend a lot of time just, sleeping around a bunch of your kind, or like any, I don't really like sleeping around any people.
I suppose that's fair.
So I don't really make it like a nightly thing to just like hang out with people and watch how they struggle to live.
I mean, Victoria looks around. The other people seem to be sleeping, right?
Restlessly, but yeah.
Some people are awake, like vastly,
Oh well, yeah, true.
but like he is, for a fact that he's awake, but his eyes are closed.
I
He's
mean,
just
yes.
like laying there with his eyes closed.
Fastly.
I was about to let a guy die of a heart attack. For real. He's like, ain't none of my business. None of business.
Nah, girly. That's enough of my hit dice.
Yeah, Vittorio, he just briefly looks around and then he looks at Ilmara and is like, well, you, you at least know that the fucking Augustine Trading Company are the ones that make us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to look into what exactly they might have done. Found out some things, but not much. I'm a bit worried it might have to do with that.
Her brow like creases in the middle. Suppose if you go looking for answers, you'll find them. And it'll be answers that you like.
Yeah. That's usually how it is.
Maybe you should visit like an actual hospital. One that isn't in the pocket of the house. One that isn't in the pocket of the trading company, of course.
Well, they probably wouldn't know what they were looking at, but I suppose that's an idea.
And perhaps you need to go and visit the people at the... If she mentions the name, the abode of the witch. The freaky language.
I thought about it. And yeah, might have to do that. We'll I'll have to see. Oh, maybe this is a one-off thing. I mean, we did spend a lot of time around a ancient vampire and a null rod, so maybe whatever's inside of my fucking chest didn't really like that.
Maybe your body is telling you to stop hanging around ancient things beyond our comprehension.
He looks at her.
Amara's like smiling.
He just looks dead in her eyes and is like,
Hey, you don't have to look at
It's
me.
like-
I'm not having a stroke. My body knows what it wants.
Yeah, and it almost possibly ended the world.
Hey, sometimes you mess up, other times you accidentally enter the world.
Wait, so
Come to
messed
the-
up is no part of this? Hold on.
I feel like there should be some more options to that, but I suppose so. I I'd appreciate it if for now we just kept it between us. And then he's like just slightly louder, but not, the, like not raising his voice by a lot. He's like, you as well, Vasily.
What? Me? Vasily whispers. Oh, I was just sleeping.
Of course.
He makes an exaggerated yawning motion and like rolls over to Spoon Lawrence.
Bless him.
Newsiest Lawrence.
Very well. It's not like I have anyone to talk to this about anyway, But if I did.
What? Oh. I suppose that's true. Thanks for that he just gestures to his now ruined set of common clothes. Or well, at least shirt.
Should get a new one, It's good to have more than one pair of clothing.
I do have multiple pairs of clothing, thank you. It's a good thing this wasn't my specially made moisture wickening clothing. That would have been a real shame.
If only it was heart attack weakening.
Yeah, I should look into that. You're a tinkerer, you can make something, right?
If you want, I can get you a new heart. It's gonna be costly. But it's twice as good as the old one.
Well, as long as it's not a weird dragon heart.
No, 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 no.
It's cool steam heart. Don't worry.
Well, if I ever need a new heart, I know which person to see.
If you got the cash for me,
Believe it or
I
not,
see if I can pull some strings.
spent most of that on getting our carts.
Oh yeah, I know. I can see your expenses. I was there.
Uh-huh.
What you spend, pay that little druid, little furry, little raccoon. Bunch of money as well.
Yeah, well,
Fuel your unhealthy obsession with swords.
be like,
Not accusing you. Like I like guns.
He's on to it.
yeah, he's like I was about to say.
Sometimes someone who judge you here.
Oh,
If you want to be wacky and intense, so am I.
yeah, there's no judgment in having an interest in weaponry, especially if you take good care of it.
Exactly. Now why don't you get some rest? Don't have a heart attack. I will be here, awake. Because it's the middle of the day. So should we block out the sun with the curtain?
Yeah, I'll
There's no sun in Astoria.
Lauren says asleep.
There is no sun,
Vasily
Sirka. There
does.
are no suns.
Especially like there's no sunlight here. Don't scare me like that.
Bless.
Alara threatens to pull back the curtain. There's no difference between the curtain
Yeah.
being on and the curtain being off.
Damn. But yeah, no, he nods. He's like, yeah, I'll get some rest. Thanks again, Elmari.
For what? Not stabbing you? Yeah, no problem. It's quite hard.
He's like, yeah, sure, for not stabbing me. And he will.
Good night, Vittorio.
Yeah, good night. And he will, grab Clemency, get off the chair, look at the fucking armrest that is snapped. And
Think
then,
about all the costs you're making, how
Yeah.
much it costs to buy a chair,
of course,
even more things that are smashed in this hotel, in this place.
don't worry about it. It got damaged in the first attack. You know, it's
Then just
just,
put it outside
yeah,
with the rest of the shattered stuff.
yeah. And then he'll go and try to get at least some form of sleep.
A fitful sleep as people are tinkering outside trying to repair the walls of the tavern. That Ilvara blew out.
Yeah.
Now only one. One watch remains. The last one. Because there's a tiny little gnome in it.
Hello.
Who decided to be awake when everybody was asleep.
Hello.
But at least he's gotten 6 hours of sleep, I suppose.
Yeah, I got what I needed, you know.
That's all that matters.
Early birds get the something something, right?
What does this early bird get?
I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I say, sweating profusely.
Yeah? Okay. What are you doing?
Oh, Lucas will find a bit more of a secluded place, something more private. Kind of difficult in this room, but he'll do his best, and he'll pull out his book, and he's gonna scroll through the pages, checking if there's any news, any newsletters he's supposed to be aware of.
There's no newsletter for you today, Tokas.
A newsletter for me today. Okay, well, then I'm gonna do the second thing that I think I can do, and that will be, considering how he has been feeling for the past days, and considering what happened the last time, he's going to try and attune to a certain item that has been way too secretive. He's gonna try to attune to his book for the first time.
Did I just hear a tune to the book?
He did just say that, yeah. He did just say that. He did just say, I would like to attune to the book.
You did just hear that.
A vile
Peculiar
darkness.
choice.
Hmm?
Yeah. Funny that you should say that, Lawrence. Always has been.
Always has been funny if you think about it.
Is the book
I'm
of
a
Vile
DM.
Darkness funny to you?
You're a demon. It's fine.
A little bit.
How funny.
I
So now
prefer
we're
the
gonna
book
make
of
10
absolute
corruption
good.
saving throws.
Oh, that's great.
Let's see. We take this, we take this, we do this. Very cute. But not exactly what I wanted of this. Much better. Togas, how do you try and establish a connection with this book?
That is a great question.
How do you want to tune to this book?
I suppose the same way one would go about attuning to magic items, it would supposedly follow the same process.
Yeah,
And
what is that process?
oh, for him specifically?
Yeah, for you. You are Togas.
Yeah, I am.
What is your secret process? The secret process of attuning to magic items.
Am I
secret-
going to hear? I'm gonna just feel it, Tokas? Am I going to hear the magic words?
No, you're
You're
not.
gonna
Feel it?
feel the
I spit on
magic.
No.
It's on it.
Tokus is instead going to do the same thing they did the first time he picked up this book. He's gonna slip a few pages of the tome, and once he doesn't notice anything new, he's gonna close it once again. And he's gonna flip it to its cover and hold it in his lap. And he's going to take his finger and slowly trace the mark of the tome again and again. The same place it appeared the first time Douglas picked up the book, disappearing shortly after. And he's going to dig deep into his memories, into the feeling, into the sensations he had when his fingers first touched the crumbling parchment and the dusty leather, and felt the humming, the thrumming beneath each page. And he's going to pour his mind into the object, and he's going to attempt to attune to it.
Okay. Tokas, you... A connection is something that still feels strange. Like, it is not the same connection that you immediately establish with other items. Instead of this sort of like feeling, this energy that moves between you and the book, there is a sort of like tickle on your forehead that turns into a throbbing pain. And that throbbing pain does not go away. Yes. Do you want to continue the process of attuning? Yeah?
Yeah, he's going to probably pull the rim of his hat sort of like backwards to leave his usually covered forehead a little bit of air, as he is going to endure the searing pain on his head, and he's going to keep tracing the symbol again and again on the cover of the book, almost as if trying to summon it in a way.
Because the pain blisters into this sizzling heat right over your brow. It builds up and up until it crescendos And from the corner of your eye, you see this tiny little golden blip go from your forehead. And as soon as it leaves your forehead, the pain is gone. And there's just this tiny little purplish golden swirling mass of energy that floats through the air, hovering away from you.
Link. I suppose I'm going to try and hold the tome close to this swiveling mass of energy with the front of the book facing it at first.
The mass, the little magical blurble, kind of like, as soon as you get closer to it, it kind of like floats a little bit further away. And it does this for a short bit until it almost like catches fire in the air. It ignites and becomes this glimmering point which stretches and stretches and stretches into a line that is at least 10 feet wide.
Oh. I blink. Togus sort of like walks around this line for a few moments, sort of adjusting his glasses on his nose to get a look at what this could never be.
Then the line begins to grow in another dimension, and that dimension is height. That's nice, Mark.
Please.
As now, it is evident to you, Tokas, that a rift in reality is opening before your eyes.
Oh,
Oh.
man. We ain't
Poggers!
10 foot by 10 foot!
ever chosen steps out. I can't fucking wait.
Poggers!
Could we at least have
Poggers!
long rested?
By the time it reaches 10 by 10 feet, the darkness beyond the rift almost like clears up as though the light of your room actually hits it, and there is a set of heavy wooden doors. The sigil of a star-burst eye is exquisitely carved into them. Although you only have a few moments to appreciate its craftsmanship as the doors swing open into a grand foyer.
Oh. Togus will look to the left. Togus will look to the right.
You make eye contact with Ilmara, and you also make eye contact with Vasily, who are just fucking staring at you like, what the fuck?
He'll look at Elmare. It tips his hat, cowboy style. I should be back in a moment. And then he steps over the door.
The doorway remains. Are you gonna like explain what the fuck is going on?
Peeks out of the door. Peeks out of the door. I have
Ilmar throws something at Zarius, like right in his face.
I have no idea, but I think I might know more. I'll be back in a bit. Give me 10 minutes. If I'm not back, then be concerned. And then he slinks back through the rift that opened.
Zarius, you are impacted in the face
Me who's sleeping?
by a pouch of bullets as you are snoring in the middle of the room.
Fuck! Oh, what the fuck's going on? I'm awake. do I see all this?
I mean, it's hard to miss. There's like your room
Nah,
is
you're
not that
dreaming. Go
big.
back to bed.
It's not that big. Like,
There's
you know, the
clear
room is not that
debate
big. It's
on-
just a giant doorway.
There's clear debate on Taris's face if he should go back to sleep. But he's not
Good
going
dreaming.
to because he's pretty tired. But also, where that wasn't there before, I swear.
Because you're standing in a large foyer that is adorned with marble pillars and polished stone floors. There are bookcases all around you, in almost like a circular pattern, all of which are nearly 30 feet tall, filled with thousands upon thousands of leather-bound tomes.
Hmm.
By now you become aware of Zarya's being awake behind you as well.
I see. I don't think Tokus would be too concerned with the people inside the room at this point. Sort of like taken aback by the magnitude of this place. He's going to gingerly walk through from bookcase to bookcase and sort of eye titles of these tomes, trying to garner some similar information about what sort of knowledge is stored in this place.
Should we let him go on by himself?
What do you want me to do about it?
Make sure that we follow him so that he doesn't take him somewhere by himself.
So like, you know, like, I don't work for you, so like you can go with him, and then I will stay here, okay? And I will watch your back.
Vittorio's here too, right?
I'm sleeping, so...
Yeah, Vittorio's
you'll-
going to sleep.
I look at Omar.
Yeah, is there something wrong with you? Like, you cannot walk or what?
No, fuck's sake, and Zarius goes after.
Oh, don't worry, I will look over our companions. Oh wait, it's not my turn to keep watch, Darius. Bye!
Just wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, it doesn't wait up at all. He just starts wandering through from shelf to shelf.
Zarius starts running. Togus?
Who's around? Yes? Hi. Oh, sorry. Thought you were asleep.
Yeah, and then Omar hit me in the face with bullets.
That's very rude of her. You should probably go back to sleep somewhere else. No, closer to Mare.
Did you just step into a random doorway that appeared out of nowhere?
No, it's okay. Believe me, it's everything is alright. Says, looking around the place.
Kind of amazing, though.
Yeah, it is.
Not letting you go in here by yourself.
Right, buddy. Well, I suppose you can keep me company for a bit. I don't think it should take too long. I hope so, at least.
Sure. What are we looking for specifically in this place that appeared out of nowhere?
I have no idea. Embry, I look back on my hands. Do I still have the book?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. I'm not really
Around
sure.
you are spiral staircases in various corners of this place that lead up to like higher elevations, which all have bookcases as well, and also hallways. Notably, though, the ground floor in which you stand, though surrounded by on most ends by bookcases, also has one singular hallway that one can go down.
Can I roll a history check to see if I remember being in such a place before?
You've never been in such a place before.
Okay. Lucas looks up at the spiral staircases, looks down at the hallway. Well, That seems a bit too on the nose and way too obvious, but suppose hell with it. Seems walking through the hallway and through it.
Goes to the books as he's focused. What fuck? Goes up to Togas.
It's not very long after this takes place that Vincent is disturbed from his trance by Zarius, causing Vincent's his trance, his little beautiful moment to fall apart as well. As Zarius is like, Togas!
Togas away!
Vincent, who likely does what Vincent does and say, "What the fuck is that?"
No, it's a great
Zarius
impression.
yells back. Just follow.
Was pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
Waking everyone in this room up.
I don't know where this is, but come.
Drew wakes up as well. He's like, what? Blink. What the fuck is that? What? And I guess he sees, yeah, Togas and Zarius running off in the distance into this
There's
thing.
like a large foyer in front of Vittorio, like 10 feet away from him, and then just Tokas beelining in through a corridor.
Sorry, just yells. It's like he's possessed.
Yeah, I'm coming. And I'll get up, grabs Clemency, and
Norio, you too see the nice foyer. There's like a nice little fireplace with this large chair where you could like relax, you know. Meanwhile, the hallway that Tokas is walking down is very long. There are dozens of closed doors on either end, and what's that? Oh, way in the distance, there's also a door all the way at the end of the hallway. The first door on your left is blank. There's no plaque, no coloration. It is just a plain wooden door. What do you do, Tokas?
Are there plaques or marks on the other doors?
You shuffle past the first door, and within a couple of feet, you end up in front of the next door on the right. And there is something familiar about that. You may make me an Arkhona check with advantage.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Lord. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. For 9 and a 27. Needed advantage, not gonna lie.
These are almost the same number.
Almost the same number. Almost one is just 3 times the other, but it's okay.
Between this door and the next door in the line, it becomes apparent to you that the plaque on the door, the carving in this door, is a sigil. A signature rune or arcane mark. This is something wizards use
Oh.
to mark their possessions or sign their name on things.
Oh.
And you know
Mace
this
seal.
one!
Do I?
It's your dad's.
Oh.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh shit.
Tokas reaches
Don't say
up,
that on stream.
looks up at the second door, and he looks back at the first door, and he's like, hold on a moment. He takes a few steps back without turning around. He just like moonwalks a bit. He looks at the blank door. He looks at the other door. I'm gonna try and open the handle of the first door.
The door is like perfectly sized for you, you know, like there's no worries about you having
Oh, of course.
to reach up here. You can open the blank door. There's only a slight like as you twist the knob.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond it, you will find an empty room.
Hmm.
A blank canvas.
Hmm. Lucas blinks around. He squeezes his eyes a little bit, rubs them off because he just wake up. Like, okay, empty room. Turns one to the other. Alright, Dad, what is this? And I'm gonna try and open the second door.
The second door is a little less forgiving, I would say. You have to twist a knob a couple of times. It's almost like it has not seen a lot of use in these years, but it is still a door that is of a size that you can at least, reasonably
Bless.
manageably take a hold of,
Hmm.
and it will eventually open. Behind it lies a room in much the same dimensions as the blank room from before, but this one is full of stuff. There is the walls are not, I guess, blank stone, but they have this like sort of like dark brick patterned it's sort of like dark brick pattern which goes down into a fireplace on the far wall, which has been carved in a variety of sigils, like little lions' heads and flowers. A painting of a woman hangs over the fireplace, a very familiar woman. And there's also a little portrait of a tiny Tokas.
Mm.
The rest of the room is dominated by bookshelves, mostly corner bookshelves that surround windows. Though you're not really sure if there's like any like true outside, but at least there are windows and they look out over this like city landscape.
Hmm.
There's a couple more knickknacks, some of which are strewn about across the floor, various flasks and chests, even potted plants, and one of those, I don't know what you call them. It's like a big globe of the world, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like a big world globe that's inset in one of those like little tables, with a very comfortable looking chair standing next to it.
Hmm.
Probably looks kind of familiar, that chair.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
You know.
No.
Oops. Yeah, a little bit familiar, some little PTSD
No.
inducing chair. And the ceiling has kind of been blotted out. Like there's not a smooth ceiling, but it instead has these like cute little curtains that hang that cover it, like tapestries.
Because
There's
it's
no one
for
inside, though.
sure going to like first pass in front of the portraits. There's like a little bit of a smile that tugs at his lips, bit of a wetness to his eyes as he adjusts the lensless glasses on his nose. And then he turns around and sees the chair, and this is where he sort of like freezes up for a moment before approaching the piece of furniture and very gingerly grazing the wood with his fingers, almost as if to feel if it's really there or not.
It is really there.
And he sighs as he looks down at the ground, back at the chair, and back at the desk that he remembers oh so vividly.
There's no desk present here.
Oh, okay. I guess that's
It's
much
just
better.
a chair. Perhaps one that
Mhm.
just looks a lot like it.
Of course. He's gonna look at all the details of this chair, see if it really is the same chair, and he probably won't be able to because of the emotions that he feels at the moment. So instead, he's going to sit on it. With a book on his lap, he slowly cushions himself onto it and lays his head back against the back of the chair, closing his eyes for a moment.
The fire in the hearth crackles. There's a piece of wood like snaps and shoots through the space of the fireplace.
And after that sort of signal that brings him back to his senses, he looks around and plops out of the chair. And the last thing he does in this room is sort of graze the shelves of the library, taking a look at all the tomes, or at least most of them, the line, the big scaffolding, and he's going to read a few titles, a few names, just to see if they were similar to the books that his father used to have in his own study.
There's definitely a couple of familiar titles in there. Some others as well that you have not seen or perhaps did not pay attention to in your youth.
Mm-hmm. After sort of almost like trailing around this shelf, he finally lets go of it and takes one last good look around the room before making his way out of the door.
Shuts behind you with a soft click.
Just kind of wait in front of the door, almost like lies back against it for a few seconds, taking a deep breath. And then his head is gonna turn the rest of the corridor as he resumes his now a bit less hasty pace and looks up at the next door.
There's a mark on this door as well, but it is not one that you are familiar with.
He frowns a little bit. And yeah, he's gonna reach for the handle this time as well.
The door does not open.
Frowns even more. Gotta try again.
Every time you twist the handle, it's like you hit a snag, like a wall. Like you hit a lock.
He sighs a little bit and he mumbles between his breath. Wish I really had a Morensian key right now.
You wish you had a Morensian key, but then you realize that the door doesn't actually have a keyhole.
No, blink. Guess the Vittorio's variant of a Morensian key then. But I couldn't have left it anyways. And he looks up at the door one more time. And with his own finger, he opens the book, and in a blank page with his own finger, he sort of like draws the symbol that he sees, almost like a technique to memorize it better. And he's gonna walk out to the next door in line.
Same thing happens, Tokas. Another sigil. Another locked door.
And he will repeat the same movements, the same procedure as he tries to open the lock, give up, remember the signs on these doors, and then continue forth into the hallway until he either finds a door that opens or gets to the last one.
Because you continue down the hallway of arcane marks. Some simpler, some more intricately carved. Some doors wider, others taller. And the further you get down the hallway, the taller the doors become. Until you have to lay your head like a crane all the way up to look up at the sigils, and you would have to get on your tippy toes or even jump to reach some of the locks. But none of them open. Until you get all the way to the very end. The tallest door of them all.
I think I'm gonna have to lift
Emblazoned.
myself.
Emblazoned with a familiar mark. A starburst eye.
Hey yo.
Yep. I feel like Lucas at this point tries to reach the handle and see if he, even on the tip of his toes, he can sort of somehow click it.
You try to reach for it, and you immediately feel this vibration run through your hand. Your other hand, which holds the book.
He looks down. He looks at his hand. He looks at a book.
It pulses.
He's gonna grab it with both of his hands and sort of turning around a few times to look at different angles of it. He's going to, like, gears tick in his brain, and then finally he opens up the book. And if its pages still are blank as they were a few minutes ago,
They are
he's going
not.
Oh,
The pages are filled with brightly lit symbols.
are those the symbols that I've been trying to sign down so far?
There's a couple of them
Hmm.
that look similar enough, perhaps a little bit off.
Hmm.
There's also a couple of other ones in there.
I see. He's gonna look at these symbols, sort of like a bit confused, scratching his head. It's like, I remember this one was like this. Looks up at the other one. And is this some sort of, if I combine the symbols together, is this some sort of intelligible script? Some sort of arcane formula of some sort?
As you try to make sense of the script, almost like brushing your fingers over it as one would when they try to read text from a book, the symbols disconnect from the page.
The
They
no
instead
will. Oh, yeah.
stick to your hands.
Oh, to my hands. The no will flinch a little bit, looking at the palms of his hands. Very, very confused. Then at this door. And then he's gonna think, well, I have no idea what's going on. But,
You do have an idea of what's going on, Tokas, touching each symbol. You feel their meaning.
oh,
Not all of them come loose, though. Some of them stick to the pages as though they were a part of it, while others allow themselves to be moved about between pages or around on the page itself.
and I understand the meaning, you say.
You understand the meaning of these words?
What do they mean?
proficient, precise, challenge, keen, ritualistic, magical core. They feel almost like components, like ingredients to making a potion.
Making a potion.
But then with words alone.
He sort of mentally writes all these notes down as he looks at his hands, looks at his book, looks up at the door again. Okay. He will flip through a few pages, almost like to search for further meaning, and whether he finds more or not, he notes down pretty much in his brain all the little snippets of information that he manages to gather, and with his hands sort of covered in these symbols, he'll sort of like place his palm against the wooden door in front of him instead of reaching for the handle.
You place your hand against the surface of the door and you feel how cold it is. Like touching a sheet of ice.
Keeps making this contact for a few seconds before he pulls his hands away, sort of like shaking it a little bit.
Your book vibrates again.
Oh. I look down at the book.
Nothing else seems to happen.
Does it seem to be shaking more the closer I move it to the door?
No.
First we'll look at the book. And the pages covered in these runes, and he's going to try and open them and I suppose show them to the store. And in the meantime, read them out loud, one by one.
More times you read over the words, the more their meaning begins to take shape in some foggy part of your brain. Their meaning and how their meaning is not for you. Their components are not for you, but for this book. And how readjusting their sequence. Will change the meaning of it.
As he comes to this sort of realization, his head juts down. He looks at the book with eyes open wide, and almost like when presented with a new challenge, Lucas opens the book, looks at his hands, and immediately he begins sort of moving around these runes, almost like a puzzle or a Rubik's cube, attempting to place them in different order and different places of the page, and trying to give them a new meaning.
You find that many of the words simply do not budge. They are either completely dim in their glow, or they have no glow at all, and they simply don't move from the page that they are stuck to. While others allow themselves to be moved around, and they allow themselves to be identified as well through touch. While you are doing this, while you're seeking out the meaning, rest of the party, what are you doing?
Well, seeing as the toga just disappeared into a room, right?
No, he went down a long corridor, and then he went into a room briefly. Didn't take you with him. And then came out again and continued walking down the hallway.
And we're still, like, from what I caught, sorry, because I was fixing my internet, we're in a library of some sort, right?
It looks like a library. It's kind of like a combination between like a foyer and a library.
It's like a magnificent mansion.
From
Yeah,
both
it's like a
Sarius'
magnificent
interest,
mansion.
from both Sarius' interest and Sarius' greed as a dragon, are there any like, if I look at the books that are there and read their back, are there any books that sound particularly interesting or unique as I take a look on at the pages?
Let's see. Make me an investigation check.
Okay, I have an important question, Amber. Did my exhaustion disappear from sleeping?
This is long
We
rest.
finished our long rest.
No.
Okay. Then I will investigate. Oh, well, though it can be much worse, no? I look at the backs. Their books.
Mm-hmm.
Real.
Alright. Only D100. 2D100. Worst result is what you get.
The worst result. Boom. 41. So that's both low. 5 and 36. Is low good or bad?
Who knows?
If low's good, I did pretty damn well.
Okay. What was his name again? Ah, yes. You go through quite a few books, but there's actually this tiny book that stands out to you. It is almost half the size of most of the other books in the library, and it is quite plainly bound together, but it also looks rather old. Everything here looks old, but this is like, careful, this might crumble apart old. The book is called, is simply titled, Friedrin's Sing-Alongs. I
open it. I read it.
It is a book written by Friedrin Holymaker, a halfling, and it is a rather simple songbook. for travelers, and it has like kind of like tiny little sheet music pages as well in between.
Oh, that's so cute.
It looks to be like a first edition as well of the book.
Doris reads it, and like a little bit flips through the pages. Sees that it's pretty interesting. He looks left. He looks right.
Oh no.
Looks at the book. And holds it in his hand for now.
Damn, you stole from Tokus's dad's fucking book collection.
Other people who are not robbing the place yet.
My face when my friends are robbing my deceased father. Okay. Oh, I can't believe it.
Even is.
Can't believe it.
You gave me no information, even when I asked, so don't put this on me.
Don't blame me for robbing you.
I'm just a funny little klepto, okay? I can't help it.
I can't help myself. It's in my genes. Anyway, other people, what's up?
Don't wake me up.
You're already awake, Lawrence. There's no choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Victoria or Lawrence?
I will turn to Vittorio and I will see. Am I dreaming?
No. Doesn't look like it. And, Toka's decided to run up on ahead. I was gonna go after and see that he's not actually in trouble.
Lawrence is like putting on like his priest garb that gives him his armor buff, and is like putting on his sword, and like he looks like he's putting on his shoes as well, and he's like, all right, let's go, Vittorio. Tog. I pull out my sunblade.
Damn, I can't believe he was flashbanging us.
Literally.
Granada!
The two of
Turn
you
it with
also
my
step into the foyer where
Lightsaber and my
you
poncho.
where you see this vast expanse of books, and in almost every corner of the room are these spiral staircases that go up. And there's more bookcases up there, but also large sets of doors. And then there's the hallway that is like almost opposite of the door you came in from, where Tokas went into, which is kind of like misty and dark.
I will go there, and I will bring the light with me.
Your sunblade will not light up this hallway,
What the fuck?
which only grows darker and darker as
This
you go
place really
further down.
taking the sun out of Sunblade. It's
Suddenly
really,
the
it's
door
not,
closes
you
behind
know, I'd have 2 nickels. If every time I went into a weird room and my Sunblade went out, I would get a nickel. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange to happen twice.
It is strange.
In
to
such
have
a short
twice.
period of time as well.
Hmm.
Vittorio, where do you go?
Well,
There's doors upstairs.
There's bills, they're multiplying.
yeah, if he's like looks at Lawrence and is like, well, this seems a lot fucking bigger than I thought it was. Kind of like it's bigger on the inside somehow. Right. I'll go look up there. You take the corridor. Let's see where Tokas went off to.
Tokas went down that way.
Cesaria's pocketing 6 books.
No, he only pockets that one. And technically he doesn't pocket it, he's holding it out
Not
in his
yet.
hand.
I was about to say, you
Not
admit
yet.
it.
Not yet.
He's taking it with, but not secretly.
Why did you say you were going, Vittorio?
Well, I was trying to make it so that I could go upstairs, but now Sarius pointed out where Tokas went. So
You may still go upstairs.
I mean, I may, but
Lawrence is already going to Tokas.
okay,
Probably come back eventually and say that. It's
All right.
just dark.
Yeah, I'll go upstairs.
I'm already TaleCast.
You don't have to. You sound like I'm
No,
making you.
I
I'm
will
just
go.
saying you can.
I will go upstairs.
All right, you go upstairs. More bookcases and also a large number of double set doors. Double, yeah, double doors.
I will attempt to open the first door I come across.
All right. Going up the nearest spiral staircase, you end up in the room that is almost like directly above the entryway. You open the door, Vittorio. Vittorio, what would be a comfortable place for you? Comfortable room for you. A nice room. That you would enjoy.
Damn. Well, I think he has one in his subconscious, or the back of his mind, which is literally the room in the Sleeping Wolf that Lillian was staying in.
I have a picture of that room.
Yep. That's
I have it in my personal channel.
Is Lillian in
Very
that room as well?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, but she's made of paper. Like cardboard.
She's made of
Damn.
cardboard.
Just
There's
lay
a body
on the bed.
pillow.
oh no.
Oh, here
Body
you
pillow.
go.
Oh
Kind of like that.
yeah. Can you put it in Foundry as well?
I can do that.
Thank you.
There's the hand of a something on the carpet.
Don't worry about it. It's just trophies.
Don't worry about the hands.
There's a hand on the carpet, Vittorio.
It's just trophies. Don't worry about it.
Creepy. Just the way we like it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I imagine there's a couple of bottles of wine standing on the desk as well.
Mm-hmm.
He looks very confused for a second. As he blinks, he's like, "What the?" He turns around and looks out into the rest of the library. Is it still there?
What, behind you? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Scratches the back of his head. Like, we'll go inside.
Alright. You step into the little comfy room, and how comfortable that room is, Vittorio. It is almost exactly as you remember it to be. In your mind.
Plus,
Tokas,
Yes. Hello.
how's it going?
I think after like trying to discern the meaning of these words further, I'm succeeding with various degrees. If there's no further development or no further hints from the book itself, he's gonna grind.
You come to understand that these words have a meaning for the book, but also a meaning for you by extension. It's like the book is customizable. It's almost like the book is an ancestral weapon.
What? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? He says, "Ooh."
damn,
What do you mean by that?
how much bludgeoning damage does it deal?
What do you mean by that?
Minus
Puts
2
fingers
crusade,
together.
7 strength. Oh, that is something that I guess Tokas realizes at one point and surprises him even more. As he pretty much sits with his back slightly against this door, not too much because he doesn't really like being cold, and tinkers with his words and tries to understand them at the best of his knowledge. And yeah, once he seems to have exhausted his options, as in he put every word that could be moved anywhere that could be placed into, and sort of tried to solve this puzzle many times. He'll think about it for a second and look up at the door handle that's tall above the door. He's gonna take a deep breath. He's gonna look at the book. He's gonna say to the book, "Well, I'm glad that you wanted to talk a bit more tonight. Last time wasn't really that nice, I have to say." There's a round. Oh well. There's just one handle I haven't tried yet. And how far in the air is this handle?
The one above you?
Yeah.
It is like a very tall person. This is like at least Vittorio, if not taller, tall person to go through this door.
Because size. This entice more people architecture. And he's gonna attempt to cast Fly on himself with his last spell slot.
You drift up. And reach for the door handle, and it is also cold. Although the door does not open, there's almost a moment where you feel that brush of your mind against another. The same way you felt dozens upon dozens of times when trying to make a telepathic connection with someone using Radigan. But it is almost as though the connection is forcibly cut off from the other side.
He looks at the door handle. He looks at his hands. And then he thinks to himself, well, perhaps some doors are not yet meant to be opened. And he says, looking back at the long corridor, the long stretch of many other doors that he had yet not opened. He looks at the book and looks back at the corridor.
It's almost like the book vibrates, as if to reply, but it could also be because you touched the door.
But Chicken makes it. Just nods. He replied to me. For sure it did.
100%.
And yeah, after that, he's going to close it for good, and he's going to make his way back through the hallway, stopping in front of his father's study one more time, and he's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a piece of broken glass. It seems like almost round at the edge, but the other edges of the glass are almost jagged, as if they were shattered in a way. And places it in front of the door, and it says, I don't know why you were here. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I suppose this is not the last time I'll hear of you. Try to get home soon. And yeah, leaving the piece of glass behind, he'll make his way back into the foyer.
I think...
So I bump into Tokas.
Yeah, you bump into Tokas.
Because it kind of comes out of the shadows, bumps into Lord. Do I see Lawrence coming?
Yeah, like very late, but you do see him. Yes.
Yeah. Was bumping into each other. Togas looks up.
Oh,
Hi. I thought everyone
Togas,
was
you're
asleep.
alive.
Looks around.
I was asleep, and then you were eaten by the wall of light, and so we came in here to save you. And
Oh.
Zarius is looking through stuff instead, and Victoria went somewhere else, but I just came here to get you.
His brow like furrows a little bit, and then he looks up at Lawrence. Oh, I apologize. I think this would stir anyone awake. Well, first of all,
Zarius started screaming. We're here.
She does. Right. Well, I suppose we have to get all of you back to bed. We can have a talk tomorrow morning, but it's better if you finish resting first.
My points are sort of your life's not in danger, right?
No, it's not in danger, he says, like raising a hand in front of the tip of the sword. I'm actually I'm actually says, kind of like sniffling. He rubs his eye a little bit. I think I'm okay. Yeah, let's go get the others and hope that Zarius didn't take anything from here, because I think that would be really bad.
I mean, Zarius isn't standing too far away from him. You can just see him holding the book.
He
He's
says,
not in the middle.
we're down the long corridor in the darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're that far, you wouldn't. No, I don't think you'd see him, but yeah, you'll see him if you just walk to him slowly.
Eventually, the two will come out and be like, "Oh, we're back. Zarius, what do you have in your hands?"
Vittorio, where are
What?
you, Vittorio?
He went upstairs.
I look
Oh, I'll
upstairs.
get him. I go
No,
upstairs.
One of the doors is open.
Let's just all go. Zarius says, holding the book, walking upstairs with Lawrence.
What are you doing with that book in hand?
Reading it.
Of course. You know you'll have to put it back. I feel like if you don't, really bad things will happen. Either to me or to a lot of people.
Oh.
He looks around the shelves. Like really bad things.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
An eyebrow raises up. He sighs. Just put it back once you're finished reading it.
You guys can make your way up the stairs, and you'll find that one of the doors that is like closest to the like right above the entrance, pretty much. I currently envision this place as like a circle, but you know, this is how I like it. This is how I like it right now. The one above the entrance that you came in with, before, above the entrance you came in through, has an open door, and Vittorio's like kind of standing in the like near the doorway.
Vittorio. Oh, Lawrence,
go
you
up to
first,
him.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I go up to him. I take his sword. We're going now. I have 2 swords now.
what do you mean?
You take your sword.
sword.
I take
Lawrence
your
has
sword.
forfeited life.
What do you mean?
I take your sword. I take one of your swords.
What do you
Whichever's the most accessible to me as I come up behind you and take it.
I only took clemency with me because.
Okay, well, I
was
have
sleeping.
clemency now.
No.
Victoria, we're going to
What
bed
you
now.
do?
The fuck you do?
We're going to bed now. Come on, Victoria. Sleepy time.
Like he turns around as you fucking
Yeah,
grabbing
Lawrence is walking off with your
clemency.
sword. It's gone.
What the fuck do you mean?
It's gone. I give it to Zarius.
Zarius takes it and looks
Zarius
at it.
takes this. This is heavy.
So you
Come on, Victoria,
so you give
let's
it to
go.
me?
Let's
Just
just give
blinks.
it to Tokas. Pass it down.
I blink.
Double it and give it to the next person.
No, give it to the next guy.
I blink.
Tokas.
I have 2 clemencies in my hands. They are super heavy.
I see. I guess Vittorio will follow after apparently getting his sword stolen.
I'll take a
It
peek
was
inside
stolen.
the room as
It
he-
was
as he leaves.
requisitioned.
It's not a familiar room to you at all, Tokas.
I see. Tokus looks at the door next, and he gives back the sword to Vittorio as he passes by. I wonder what's behind this door. Humor me for a second. And he like walks out the door. Other handles reachable.
Yeah, you can reach them.
I'll twist a handle and I'll open the door.
Tokas, beyond that lies... Well, what does lie beyond that, Tokas?
Oh, I know what lies beyond that. Beyond that lies his secret lair. His secret hidden chamber that lies inside the hallways of the 11th. A not too big of a room. Big enough for a 10-year-old, 8-year-old gnome to hang around alone. With books laid everywhere, a plush pillow, almost like one of those soft couches, laid against one of the corners of the room, and a few sticks of incense burning from a censer on a very very cute, but also like a bit shoddily made nightstand put in the other corner of the room. And then the walls are almost made of bookcases. There are piles and piles of books. So many books. They are almost like the equivalent of clothing for a teenager. The floor is pretty much layered with them. They hang from the ceiling as well, either by ropes or strings. Especially very colorful books, books with some interesting illustrations in the covers. And they also lay on a very long desk that faces one of the walls, almost like to one end and the other of the wall. And on this desk is, besides stains of black oil and cloths and gloves and some very small-sized tools. Many of them seem to be almost like childproof, with rubber where it's supposed to be too sharp, or like little caps where pointy things might hurt a child. But they've all been either removed or very acutely sawn off. And amidst this very messy desk with more books and metal parts lays a tiny little mouse made with brass, silver, and a little bit of black oil spilling out of a gap as this little toy sort of squeaks and crawls around the desk on its own. And right next to it, dangerously so, are vials of concoctions and the most weird dried up plants, from literal grass to rose petals to something that seems really really dangerous, almost like a cactus like plant. And it's all lined up against this wall and onto this long desk, and the room really smells like many years ago.
That is so blessed. While you are feasting your eyes upon youth sentiment, Lawrence, there's a wrinkling sound next to you. Like ding ding.
I look at Vasily.
You turn to Vasily and don't find Vasily.
What?
You do find a man without a head.
Not need to fuck.
Wait,
A man without a head.
Standing next to you, Lawrence,
Oh,
is
give him a
someone.
hug.
What?
Sorry.
Someone
what?
dressed in a fine black suit with a little towel like wrapped over their arm, and perched upon their other arm is a platter. A silver platter with cups of tea.
I like tea. Is it hot tea?
It is steaming.
I will take a cup of tea from him, and I will say thank you.
They make a very polite flourish with their hands and bow.
You may serve the others. Guys, tea's here. I sip the tea. What does it taste like?
Chamomile.
Chamomile. Sleepy time.
Sorry, what you up to?
Okay. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
I can now.
Because on my side, I'm lagging. So
You're
no.
fine.
I can
okay,
hear you
but
just fine.
okay. So if everyone's going onto the room, I see Lauren's grabbing one thing. I see Vittorio still staying in the room. I see Toka staying in a room. Oh, you're going out, right?
I mean, I went out, I got my sword, and then...
And then Tokas run upstairs again and said, guys, hold on a moment. Let me see what's inside. And then open the door.
So I was just gonna look at the group and just say, so we're just gonna explore all the rooms. Because I look around.
Sarius, have some
Yeah.
tea.
Sorry, you noticed the
Okay.
person without a head.
I noticed the person without a head. At first, probably he's not shocked. It's like, oh, it's just a guy for a moment.
I mean,
'cause
it's
you don't
not even.
notice
It's not like a gross missing head. There's no viscera. It doesn't even
Yeah.
look that there's actually a person. It actually just looks
Yeah.
like a set of clothing that is walking around and offers you like a cup of tea.
Okay, Zarius takes a cup of tea, sniffs it,
Floral,
sips it.
hot.
So I was just gonna slowly walk to a door. And
Uh-huh.
then look at the group and just like, so are we exploring or are we...
Tokas
Trying to
without
get out.
moving from the door, he with his eyes locked inside the room, he says, I think you guys should maybe take a look as well. There's, I think, more doors? Yes.
Yeah. Darius looks at the handle and just slowly pulls it down, looks at the group.
Sorry, tell me what lies beyond the door.
So my question is this an inside room or can it be an outside room?
It can be as much inside as it can be outside. The
Okay.
limit is your imagination.
Okay, so then the room Zarya steps in is... I feel like at first you can imagine it as a dojo or like a sort of battleground
Mm-hmm.
with in the middle in the middle end of the room. So if you have the back wall, in the middle of that back wall is like a little altar to Moriel standing there. As you kind of really let your eyes glide on the room, you can see that it has been very used. A fist mark on the wall where someone punched the wall at full force, shattering the wood, and while it has been fixed to some extent, there is still that little dent in the wall where the fist used to be. And the marks of weapons all over the walls. The stain of blood, some stains of blood, like very faint, like very old, on spots where it's very hard to get out of. And last but not least, you have in a corner of the room, close to the little altar, there is this very old and intricate harp that stands there. And as Darius kind of like holds the door open, he kind of opens his eyes and he's like, I assume he freezes up. Let's see. Let's check. Does Darius, how manageable do you be? It's my guy. Good job.
Bless.
As he opens the door and instead of fear and bad memories flowing into him, kind of just steps inside and just takes it in, as this is the training ground that is essentially like built into his house, or there's a little built into his house. Where he fought with his mom, where he fought with his grandma, Not his dad, because his dad doesn't fight. He just prays. Although he's prayed at the little altar before. But more importantly, this is where he fought with his brother and sister.
Ex-sister.
No, she's still my sister. I don't know if she's dead, but she's still my sister. As I take I try to take a handful of the sand. Is it like actual sand? Like, can I grab it and just like flow out?
Yeah.
As he grabs it.
There's like a limit to all these riddle read, like a size limit, but like it won't look like there is a size limit. There will just be like a soft barrier. But yeah, there can be sand if you'd like.
If there's a barrier, I'd imagine that, despite here not being a door here, if it goes to the more important part, like in his actual house, this door would open up to the back side of this room, because that's more important to the inside. This kind of just looks and lets the memories of home flow in, the smells, if there are any.
There are. Sounds and smells.
If it is as accurate, he's just going to take a simple walk down the room as much as he can and touch the little altar to Moriel, where at one point he likely just threw the thing over, like around the time that he left home. So, you know, he looks at it probably not that way, because that's not how he fondly remembers it. Walks past the harp that's standing there, where the instrument that his dad plays, that he knows how to play but doesn't really actively do. And he just takes it in. Honestly, like, sits, just being lost there for a moment. In a good way. If I rolled bad there, he would have been lost there in a bad way, but he just fondly remembers the memories, and as he kind of remembers that punch in the wall, he remembers him sparring with Vittorio, and that's how kind of similar that felt. And I don't know, I think all of his memories here is just sparking on the good memories he has back home, and he misses home, but also the good memories he now made with his party that feel a little bit the same.
Almost blessed. I think we can explore a little more of that next week, because this mansion will remain here for 24 hours.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Damn.
At least we can do some sleepy here.
From Edie.
Guys, I'm home. I want to go home.
And
I
I want to
wanna
go
go
home
to
too,
my
I'm not
house.
gonna lie.
Eepy.
I want to see my mom and dad.
Band.
Well, this was a very lovely session.
Session.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for hosting. We got some stuff done, and then we had a bunch of cool and mostly wholesome things that happened.
Yeah.
So it was very nice. And this
Stay tuned for more wholesome things next week, or unless.
unless.
No, just wholesome beers.
Okay, well, thanks people for watching, thanks players for playing, and thanks DM for DMing.
Yeah,
we
thank
will
you for
being
the session
here.
in the game.
yeah, we'll see you all next week for Double Trouble, aka City Below, and
Correct, on Thursday, and then on Friday,
So much
Yeah.
excitement.
Arkona's account.
exactly. And do not
Yeah.
forget that Calamica is on Sunday instead of
Sunday.
Saturday
Woo!
this week. All right. Good night, folks.
And
Good night,
see you on
friends.
Thursday.
Good night, everyone.